wickets in the first of 3 one-dayers. Retiring captain Alyssa Healy scored a half-century as the Aussies got the multi-format series back to level pegging.
Pretty pleased with that. I mean, probably a little bit was put on us after the T20 series about how we were going to bounce back in this multi-format, and I think to come out and play the way we did today and obviously this evening to chase it down was clinical.
Audio there thanks to Fox Cricket. Meantime, England's men have all but assured their spot in the T20 World Cup semi-finals after a thrilling 2-wicket win against Pakistan. The tournament continues tonight. Sri Lanka play against New Zealand. And in some soccer to finish, European Champions League action continues this morning. Atletico Madrid currently leading Club Brugge 4-1. That means they're now leading 7-4 on aggregate after the first leg finished at 3-3. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 30 degrees. Sunny tomorrow too, 33. A shower or two on Friday and 32 the top. And storms and showers on Saturday, 29 degrees. Right now it's 17 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Business too small to be noticed by those global car rental companies? Well, you can rely on Red Spot to look after you. We love renting to small businesses because we used to be one. We're the only Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
Your Royal Flying Doctor Service cannot do its life-saving work without your help. It relies on your donations to transform a plane into a flying intensive care unit.
And now your donations have an even bigger impact because March the 5th is officially Double Up for the Doc Day. It means every donation made on this day will be matched.
Of course, you can donate any time, but if you donate on March 5, your donation will be matched dollar for dollar thanks to some very generous partners.
That's right. The target to reach on Double Up for the Doc Day is $300,000 to fit out a new aircraft with medical equipment. With your help on March the 5th, it is totally doable.
Make double the difference on Double Up for the Doc Day, March 5. For more information, visit flyingdoctor.com.au. That's flyingdoctor.com.au.
2 days left for a life-changing moment.
Are you for real? I can't believe it.
$1 million.
That doesn't happen to somebody like us.
Get your Hospital Research Foundation home lottery tickets by midnight Friday for your chance to win $1 million and automatically stay in for the Scott Salisbury Grand Prize. Buy now. The early bird deadline is midnight Friday. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14894.
Sail smarter with Viking and Phil Hoffman Travel, where curiosity meets understated luxury. Wake up each day to a new horizon aboard Viking's award-winning ships, exploring the world's most fascinating destinations. Enjoy fully inclusive cruising with meals, wine and beer, Wi-Fi, gratuities and a shore excursion in every port. Save up to $5,000 per couple on select river and ocean voyages. Book by 31st of March with Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
David Penberthy and Will Gooding. It's a great show.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
8 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Wednesday on 5AA Breakfast, the 25th of February. A notable day because we'd speculated about whether we would see the new federal Liberal leader in town for the state election campaign. Well, that question's been answered in the affirmative. Angus Taylor will be on the program this morning after 7 o'clock. Looking forward to that chat. Sean Fewster will join us. We'll go around the courts with Sean. Koshy on the program, gearing up for footy season. Lots to talk about. Lots of big money questions as well, and nobody does it better than David Koch just before 8 o'clock today. Hannah Ford, who's been covering the disappearance of Gus Lamont, of course now considered a major crime by SAPOL, from the very beginning, will be on after 7 to talk about, and this is remarkable in and of itself, the fact that we've got the first bit of vision that's a video released by the parents. They put out a statement yesterday, haven't spoken to this point in time, talking about their heartache and what their last few months have been like. That happened yesterday. She'll come on after 7 o'clock to get us across the latest developments there, including this little tidbit that was in the news story last night. Her story last night, police are planning to return to the property. Lots to talk about. 8223 is the number. You can text us on 0480 08 1395. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners, and welcome to the 157th most powerful duo in South Australia.
Well,
no, duo. Not duo.
No, you're 158.
Oh,
I was 159.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I beat you by one.
Yeah. You're in pole position.
This is the Tigers.
Wielding your influence.
This is the Tigers power list, the 1,000 most famous people.
Yeah.
Sorry, influential, powerful people in South Australia. So I'm one ahead of you, am I?
You're one ahead of me. I've got work to do.
Well, the good thing is you can get online and you can vote. So you can vote that you disagree with. When I say you can get online and vote, I presume you already have.
Oh, yeah, I've downvoted you big time, my friend.
And have you deleted cookies? So you can just keep voting over and over?
Is that how you do it, is it?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know. Are
you trying to arm our listeners with the weaponry to try and juice the votes?
I just want to be more powerful than Theresa Palmer.
It's impossible in this town.
Wait, so I want to know, who is she? Can someone just write an article for the Tizer who is explained who is Theresa Palmer? Because as far as I can tell, she's a woman who's on lists all the time.
Very big on lists. Big in list land.
What else has she done apart from the list work?
Hollywood, the odd movie here or there. Acting.
Is she like in Marvel?
Treading
movies?
the boards.
Treading the boards. Treading the boards. As a youth, I used to tread the boards.
158.
I always dreamed of paying the Dean.
159 sounds really good until you put it into other contexts, like, what's your 158th favourite food?
yeah, like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Name your favourite TV shows, and what's your 158th favourite TV show?
Yeah.
So it sort of sounds good right up until that point.
158th hottest South Australian. Who's in front of us? Nick Champion. Crikey. Connor Rosey.
Football club captain.
Powerful. Rhea Ripley, a female wrestler. What about that? I mean, I would have thought having a column in every single newspaper in Australia and doing 15 hours of radio a week might bump you up a little bit higher than that. But
get you out of me. That's all it gets you, mate.
Not that I'm bitter. Anyway, what's going on? How's that for a new throw?
I didn't know we were going to go there.
Will, what's going on?
I don't know we're going to go there. Hey,
code for I haven't prepared anything. What have you got?
I did want to talk about this morning. I think we could have a bit of fun with this potentially. We got gluttony tickets to give away. You can win the gluttony tickets if you tell us the event that would need to be added to what I'm terming the reverse Olympics, in which you have to come last on planet Earth. The reason I bring it up is because today you could begin registrations for World Maths Day, which the competition takes place on the 25th of March. There'll be 10 million students across 17,000 schools in 150 countries worldwide. If that was at the Olympics, I would come last, which in the reverse Olympics is first. What event would you come last in on planet Earth, do you think? Or at least you're in the contest. 8223 0000. We've got gluttony tickets to give away. What are you globally bad at? I guess is the question.
A lot of things. Who's number 157 on the power list?
I don't know. Paddy's
See if our listeners can have a guess.
Paddy sent me, messaged me 158/159 this morning. I thought, is this like a new 6-7 thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
World Maths Day.
No, he wants people to guess.
Okay.
Who's ahead of us? 8223
Humphrey. It's actually a clever bit of journalism because ego being what it is, heaps of those people are going to buy the paper today. And heaps of people who aren't on the list are going to buy it to see if they're on the list.
Yeah.
And be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's why they do the 100 top hairdressers and 100 top nail polishers and 100 top plumbers.
Because you get people from that everyone in that industry wants to know.
Yeah. Although, Adelaide's best real estate agents.
Schools is a big one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, massive. And all those school formal photos, or were you at the Tonsley in 1985? Yes, I was. guilty as charged. But those old photos, those galleries, they go nuts.
All right, it's 14 minutes after 6. We might just gather ourselves. That was some kind of start this morning, and we're going to come back with more in just a moment.
Sharing in the moments that shaped our state.
It's Friday night and we're talking to you from Rolly Park Speedway in the very heart of Adelaide, South Australia. For the past 31 years, this circuit has been one of the most prestigious speedways in the country. Tonight, the shutters come down for the final time.
Rolly Park Speedway has just been an institution in Adelaide and for all the drivers around our time.
Celebrating 50 years. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
RDNS is now called Silverchain, but that's all that's changing. There's still the same friendly faces, same in-home health and aged care you trust, and same not-for-profit values. Because some things will never change at Silverchain.
Mark Boris is the mentor who keeps choosing stories over spreadsheets and keeps feeding those big ideas. So keep good company with the Mentor podcast.
This state election, it's a fit in with you thing, with more ways to vote than ever. Enrol today or check your enrolment at ecsa.sa.gov.au. Voting, it's a good thing. Authorised by M. Sherry, Electoral Commissioner, Adelaide, South Australia.
Follow your wanderer to South Australia's Caravan, Camping and Outdoor Show. Check out the latest caravans, campers, motorhomes, four-wheel drives and more. Get inspiration and expert advice for your next road trip. And let the kids go wild with free entry and a fun lineup of family-friendly activities. Gear up for the industry's official outdoor show. By Wanderers, for Wanderers. South Australia's Caravan, Camping and Outdoor Show. 25th February to 1st March at the Adelaide Showground. Get your tickets now at caravanandcampingsa.com.au.
Now, what you're about to hear is life-changing. You could win $1 million instant cash.
Get your tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery by midnight this Friday to automatically enter the early bird draw for $1 million.
Have a think about how $1 million could change your life. It'll happen for someone, so why not you? Buy your tickets now at homelottery.com.au.
And you'll stay in for all remaining draws, including the $4 million grand prize at Henley Beach South, just steps from the beach.
That's right. Plus, it's a guaranteed win for your community, supporting life-changing healthcare right here for South Australians like you.
Early bird deadline midnight this Friday. Buy now at homelottery.com.au.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Harvey Norman's got 3 great Lenovo options that make laptop shopping pretty easy. If you just need something for the basics, emails, streaming, the kids' homework, the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 is just $358. Save $140. Want something with a bit more grunt? The 15-inch Slim 3 with Ryzen 5 gives you loads more speed and storage so you can juggle work, study, Netflix and spreadsheets without that laggy frustration. Only $798. Save $400. And if you're ready for serious multitasking, creative work and the latest AI features built in, the Lenovo Copilot Plus model is perfect with 32 gig of RAM and a fast 1 terabyte SSD. Just $1,498. 3 levels of Lenovo quality available now at Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
There's a place in Adelaide many people don't know about, and it's extraordinary. FIVEAA House at David Roche Gallery is home to over 3,000 exquisite works of art from Europe's finest 18th and 19th century makers. From gilded furniture and porcelain to sculpture and rare decorative art, every room of FIVEAA House tells a fascinating story. Located in North Adelaide and open to everyone to enjoy. Discover one of South Australia's hidden treasures. Find out more at rochegallery.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula, live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
18 minutes after 6, we have gluttony tickets to give away to see 2016, a live mockumentary that will reclaim the year that the music died. We're asking you, inspired by this being the day to register for World Maths Day, to nominate the event that you would come last in on planet Earth. We're calling it the Reverse Olympics. Sam in Theberton, what would be the event that you would come last in at our Reverse Olympics?
Good morning, guys. Well, I'd be lined up for the 100-metre breaststroke. I'd jump in and I'd come last because I can't swim.
You can't swim.
Really, Sam?
So,
I
in
can't
fact,
swim, no.
you might sweep
I
the
can't
medals in the pool.
Yeah, I'd probably drown, but no, I can't swim.
Did you
So-
did you never learn as a kid, Sam?
No, we did go to swimming lessons at school, but I couldn't even float. I used to panic.
Yeah, right.
I used to panic. So, I mean, I'll go to the beach, and, I'll go up to about my knees, but that's about it.
But you're not going out and thrashing around, no.
All right, good one, Sam. That's quite a practical one. Dylan, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, mate.
Good, thanks, Dylan.
Yeah, if dancing was in the Olympics, I'd probably come last in that, because if you can imagine someone with nettles in their pants, that's me. And the more I drink, the better I think I am, so it gets worse.
Oh, that is a great description. I think there'd be a crowded field, though. There'd be a lot of guys out there with you dancing badly, dancing against their will.
that would be a great to watch.
Percentage of men who really enjoy dancing, what do you think that is, 5%?
Whilst sober?
Yeah, well, yeah, probably there would be different responses based on whether you'd...
Yeah, it's not high, I wouldn't have thought.
Punching them in.
Oh, no, these days, who knows? I don't know, these days. Instagram and
well, that's true.
Looks maxing, I don't know, maybe dancing's popular. Hey, Jack in Athelston says, I would come last in the Olympics of trying to understand why people take their dogs to Bunnings.
I'm right there with you, Jack. I don't know, maybe I'm too judgmental a person. But I'm sure they're all good people. But when I see people at Bunnings with a Scotch Terrier in a trolley, I can't help but think, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Have you even thought this through?
It's very popular these days too.
I know. I'm in the minority.
You see lots of dogs at Bunnings. It's not like you see one occasionally when you go in. It'd be surprising not to see one if you went into a Bunnings on a Saturday morning these days.
I mean, I love Paddy and Zorro, the cavoodles at home, but I mean, Zorro in particular, he's just a half-wit. I'm not taking him to Bunnings. He doesn't know how to behave. And this is the thing with animals. It's like it's the salutary lesson from the movie Grizzly Man, the Werner Herzog film. People humanise animals. And Timmy, what's his face, the Canadian who lived happily among the grizzlies for 8 years, filming them, living with them, monitoring their breeding habits, giving them all names. He lived among them for 8 years until...
Yeah. They went, what will that taste like?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not saying that the cavoodles are going to turn on one day.
No, but they just got a different thought process to us, is what you're saying.
Animals. So what are they doing going shopping?
Now, the question, who was in 157th place on the power list, ahead of you and I?
We're the best, we're say best. Come on and put us to the test. Make a change in the nick of time. Forget the rest of SA best.
Nick Xenophon in 157th spot.
So a man who's not in politics anymore, plays no role in politics, isn't in any parliament, state or federal. If you did a poll of how many people want him to be premier right now, the answer would be 0 because he's not running. He's more popular. He's more powerful than us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to think this list has got some validity to it, actually.
Clearly what we need is a jingle.
Well, now you're talking.
We need an SA Best style jingle.
We need a jingle. How it served SA Best well.
Where does the Bunnings thing end, though? So Bunnings, dogs at Bunnings is one thing. What if there's a big groundswell of people who at tax time say, I want to take my dog with me when I fill in my tax return? Why aren't they being catered for? What's the outer limit of this?
I think
or dogs at work. If you go to work, if you're a real dog lover,
I think the demarcation line
into work
is what the floor is made of. I think it's if it's concrete or whatever Bunnings floors are, polished concrete, dogs, carpet, no dogs. I think that's subconsciously how our minds work.
If I was at Bunnings or a dog do a dump in aisle 19 while I'm trying to buy my seedlings, I'd just lose it. And I'm sure that's happened.
Without a doubt it would have happened. Some poor Bunnings workers probably had to clean it up. I love this entry from Ben for the Reverse Olympics, the event that you would come last in on planet Earth. Ben says, the event I'd come in last in would be choosing the quickest line at the supermarket, even when I change lines. The other line is always quicker. I would come first in the slowest line. Ben, that's good. I reckon a lot of people listening would be nodding their heads saying, I'd give a shake in that competition as well.
It's like this weird sort of philosophical thing. It's like a Bertrand Russell brain buster. So why is it you change lanes and the lane slows down, and then you're going.
Schrodinger's line is like once observed, it changes state.
Yeah, okay.
There's a bit of theoretical.
Was that Schrodinger's cat?
Yeah, Schrodinger's cat. Bit of theoretical physics for you there, early in the morning, pre 6:30.
You lost me.
Yeah,
you probably moved up 3 on the power list for that observation. What about David Spears?
David Spears. Yes, we're going to be we might talk a little bit later. Is there still a live question about the legality of David Spears running?
Well, yeah, because none of the constitutional experts seem to agree.
We're going to chase up a constitutional expert to chat with a little bit later in the morning, Troy. Because let's go. This is how you get to number 158. You broke the story this morning in the Oz that David Spears will be. No, a lot of people speculated it might happen. You've said it is happening.
I hope I'm not wrong.
He'll be running for the seat of the seat of Black. Yep. But yeah, it's still a live question about whether this is even permissible legally. Because he has a conviction.
Yeah, and there's been confusion around that. And he wrote my understanding is he wrote to the Electoral Commissioner only a couple of weeks ago saying, look, what's the go? Because the Commissioner sort of made that statement to the ABC late last year saying, look, I'm not going to have a running commentary on whether people can nominate or not. So anyway, the former Liberal leader David Spears wrote to the Electoral Commissioner saying, I need clarity around this, please. And the Commissioner wrote back saying, I'd refer you to the legislation. He's like, what's that mean? Because that's the problem. No one seems to be exactly sure. The key is an MP, is a candidate precluded or a parliamentarian precluded from serving because they have faced criminal charges or are facing criminal charges. And I think David Spears is hoping, and some jurists agree, that there's a sort of clean slate thing where he's paid his $9,000, he's done his 37 hours of picking up rubbish community service, he's pleaded guilty, he's apologised, or does this hang over his head like a sword of Damocles forevermore?
We're going to talk more about that after 8 o'clock this morning. 17.6 degrees outside of the city at the moment, heading for a top today of 30. No rain forecast. That changes after tomorrow. 33 the expected top tomorrow. Friday, shower or two, 32, 0 to 20 millimetres. Saturday, 29, 2 to 25. Sunday, 32, 0 to 10. Now, it's not obviously going to rain that much all those days. They're just not sure when it's coming. But it would seem that this weekend we're going to get... hopefully a decent shower. Monday, it might be hanging around 0 to 6 millimetres and a top of 30, and Tuesday, 31. Maybe a slight drizzle on the Tuesday. Let's talk sport. Tom Wren's in the studio. Agostina Mitsubishi's Triton Frenzy Sale. Get free, genuine fitted accessories on Triton 4x4s. T's and C's apply. Morning, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Fellas, we'll talk a little bit of football. We'll get to the Crows leadership group shortly, but a story out of The Age this morning that Caroline Wilson's done on Port Adelaide, acquiring some properties to sort of shore up their investment portfolio, if you like. So they've acquired 26 properties around Alberton worth about $20 million.
What, houses?
Yeah, and just, adjacent properties to try and...
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to expand maybe Alberton.
Well,
Put in a grandstand.
Another one.
Big one.
Maybe they're going to have port-branded Airbnbs. We can go and stay in the Russell Ebert room. But have the Scotty Hodges bar.
Well, exactly.
That'd be good.
That'd be a great one.
That's interesting.
Listen, Scott.
You see it overseas a lot with franchises that try to diversify their income streams. We don't want just to be beholden to TV money and ticket sales. We want to own pubs and hotels and stuff like that. Property's an interesting one.
It is,
very
isn't
Australian take on the.
So look, Koshy up a little bit later this morning. So maybe one for him. But that's interesting.
Is Cara trying to make it sound sinister?
No, I think she's gone pretty straight. Yeah, more interesting. Now the Crows leadership group is out. How many is too many? And is there a critical mass, or is there a number? They've got 7 this season. They've got their captain Jordan Dawson. I don't think any surprises there.
Yeah.
Then they've got Darcy Fogarty. The 2 new faces are Isaac Cumming, Riley Thilthorpe. So it's 7 in total. Couple too many for me. I'm a bit old school. I sort of think captain, couple of ices and one other maybe, 4 or 5.
Riley O'Brien's still in there, and
Still
it feels
in
like the coaching staff have made the decision that he's not in the team. If that would have feel like to me.
We've got to do something. New leadership.
Could have been an
instead of
opportunity
playing.
to say, no disrespect, Riley, you're a great leader and you do a wonderful job, but your focus is going to be on getting a game with these new rules.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need to burden you with the extra
Yeah.
So that one's a little bit confusing. But it feels like a lot.
It is a lot. But look, someone made the point a bit earlier. Brisbane have got 3 captains. They're the reigning champions back to back. So I guess whatever works for you as long as you can justify it. But
a third of the playing group's in the leadership team.
That's it. And then inevitably 1 or 2 are going to be out of form and might get dropped.
Maybe it's just a symptom of the modern scourge of inclusiveness.
Yeah, why not have 20 captains?
We don't want people feeling left out. Like being told they're not more important than anyone else.
They can have an I am Spartacus moment and everyone stands up and says, I'm the captain.
Or a Dead Poet Society, I captain my captain.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. And Sam Walsh, 8
I'm
years.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
8
so's
years.
my
8
wife.
years.
Too
8
many
years.
for Sam Walsh.
Oh, the good thing about that is that Sam Walsh has had no issue with injuries. So you can invest 8 years in him knowing that there's going to be...
Sam Walsh.
The Carlton
back issues. Midfielder. Yeah, he's had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's a huge... It probably speaks to the fact that players, if you're in that, elite sort of... You've just got so much power now.
Absolutely.
And if he wants to leave, he can go. But if things go bad for him, well, you got to pay me. I think they're saying $10 million for 8 years, so good deal for him.
Good on you, Reading.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Tom.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
29 degrees and partly cloudy today with the 6:30 news. Good morning. I'm Kate Collins.
Had a collision? Get in touch with Premier Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
A vacant property has been badly damaged in a fire at Elizabeth North last night. The blaze broke out at 8:45 on Lavinston Road. Nicole Bradley from the MFS says the fire cause investigators are determining how it started.
On arrival, firefighters found a vacant property well involved in fire with flames through the roof. Quick action from firefighters contained the fire to the property of origin, preventing the fire from spreading to neighbouring properties.
Federal police say they found nothing suspicious at the lodge after the Prime Minister was evacuated over a safety threat. Officers scoured Anthony Albanese's Canberra residence for 3 hours, the PM eventually returning to the property last night. The Finance Sector Union says the Commonwealth Bank must support 300 workers who've lost their jobs. Jamelle Wells reports.
The job cuts are across the retail and business banking and human resources divisions, mostly affecting technology staff. The Finance Sector Union says the cuts are unacceptable after the CBA's recent half-year profit of over $5 billion. It's called for staff to be retrained and redeployed to other positions in the banking group. The union says the rollout of AI must not come at the expense of secure jobs.
Nearly half of Australia is on flood watch, with a tropical low hanging over central parts of the country. Warnings of severe storms have been issued for multiple states and territories, with some parts of the nation's interior to have nearly a year's worth of rain in a matter of days. It's certainly the case in our mid-north, with towns from Moomba in the northeast to Tarcoola in the central districts and Marla in the far north, expecting 50 to 70 millimetres over the next 3 days. In Adelaide, some 60 mils is due between Friday and Monday. Weather Bureau senior meteorologist Jonathan Howes says people should be prepared for heavy downpours.
We will see those 6-hourly rainfall totals of between 30 to 90 millimetres continuing over the next few days, and daily rainfall totals will exceed 100 millimetres for many areas.
A leading professional services corporation is warning staff and partners not to load confidential information into AI. Gabrielle Hodson explains.
Deloitte Australia has warned that loading secret data into ChatGPT and other publicly available AI platforms risks the leaking of clients' private information because, despite often being more effective, they're not very secure. The Financial Review says information uploaded to the platforms is stored on their servers and used to improve the quality of their responses. Deloitte is also pushing for staff not to send client and firm files to their personal accounts, possibly to work on at home, because of a spike in so-called data incidents, and says managing the risk is time-consuming. The company's told staff they need to stick to company emails and the firm's internal AI tools.
American TV host Savannah Guthrie says her family will offer up to $1 million for information leading to the recovery of her missing mother Nancy. US correspondent Hannah Sinclair.
This is a gut-wrenching plea from the Australian-born TV host who for the first time says her family knows her mother Nancy may now be dead, and if that is the case, they will accept it. Savannah Guthrie breaking down in tears in this latest video as she begged for someone to come forward. Authorities have still not named a prime suspect in this case, despite releasing doorbell footage of an armed, masked man outside Nancy Guthrie's home. The FBI is still offering its own reward for information of $100,000, but as the days and weeks pass, there are concerns this is becoming a cold case.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get to Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kate. Adelaide has named an expanded leadership group for this season. Riley Philthorpe and Isaac Cumming joining the new seven-man team, which will be headed up by Jordan Dawson, who'll captain for a fourth season. Meantime, coaches are turning to music to inspire their players this off-season. Western Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge has penned a song called Tooth and Nail, while North Melbourne captain Nick Larkey says Roos coach Alistair Clarkson is also working on something.
But I know he's working on a song. It was after me chasing up lyrics, seeing if I could get a few lyrics on some of the boys to add to his song as well. So he'll be bringing out the guitar at some stage.
Matilda superstar Sam Kerr has touched down in Perth for the Women's Asian Cup. Australia is taking on the Philippines in the tournament's opening game at Perth Stadium on Sunday. Kerr says she's looking forward to playing on home soil.
Obviously, Perth is start, like you said, of the World Cup, but we've got the opening game, so it kind of makes up for it now.
The Adelaide Thunderbirds have announced co-captains for the upcoming season with Shamira Sterling-Humphrey and Georgie Hodges to share the role. Sterling-Humphrey returns to playing after missing last season through maternity leave. The season opener is on March the 14th against the New South Wales Swifts. And Australia has won the women's one-dayer against India overnight by 6 wickets. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you so much, Tom. Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
A top of 30, mostly sunny for Adelaide today. Sunny tomorrow too, a top of 33. But a shower or two forecast on Friday, 32 degrees. And storms and showers possible on Saturday and 29. Right now, it's 17 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Whatever your morning looks like, own it with Up and Go Liquid Breakfast. Braving the bus or carving a wave. Battling rush hour or feeling the rush of your favourite trail. Fueled with the protein, fibre and vitamins you need to get up and go.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie, family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
This Mad March, Adelaide comes together for one massive celebration. Racing, fashion, music and performers collide at Mad March's main event, the Sportsbet Adelaide Cup. From champagne pours and front row views to Club Largo, CC Giddy Up Club and Family's Own Fun. Kids under 17 free. Trackside after racing, Shannon Knoll and the Jungle Giants DJ set. General admission from $35. Sportsbet Adelaide Cup, Monday, March 9 at Morfettville.
There's one sign on Doothie Street Unley you must see. It's the Kirkbride seafood sign. It changes daily, from fresh crays to Atlantic salmon, King George whiting, garfish and SA King prawns. All sustainably fished and processed on site at Kirkbride Seafood. Not some faraway factory. It's a good sign that you're getting the best you can get and so close to the city. See what's on the sign today. Kirkbride Seafood, Doothie Street Unley. kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
I've found Homemade takes the stress out of managing home care services.
Hi, how may I help?
And with their lower rates, they make quality aged care affordable, which is why they're Australia's best value home care. Search Homemade support today.
Insights from SA Best's Connie Benares. What does the balance of power mean?
It's the magic number the government needs to make or break a deal.
Connie, why is it important for your party, SA Best, to have a seat in Parliament?
You insure your home, you insure your car, you insure your health. Your upper house vote ensures your democracy. When things go wrong, independents and minor parties are the ones who fix it. The upper house exists to scrutinise. If one party controls everything, it just doesn't work.
Authorised by C. Benares, 7169 Unley Road, Unley, SA 5061. Published by SA Best.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
21 minutes to 7. Pretty extraordinary story out of Canberra late yesterday. The Prime Minister, he was evacuated from his Kirribilli House residence under what the federal police are saying they have not described the nature of the threat. News Limited are reporting that it was a bomb threat. The AFP simply saying a safety threat. It sounds like he returned safely a few hours later. Emily Saunders for 9 in Canberra has, at Kirribilli, should I say, not in Canberra, has the latest. Emily, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So what is known about what happened, Emily?
So, like you said, the AFP haven't explicitly said it was a bomb threat, though that is being widely reported. It was just after 6 o'clock last night when the Prime Minister was evacuated from his home here at the Lodge. He was taken to a different location. We don't know exactly where. And once that was done, the AFP did what they say was a thorough sweep of the home and didn't find anything. So he was back at the Lodge just a few hours later.
So there's no intelligence or no publicly available intelligence or explanation then, Emily, about how they found out about the possible presence of a bomb, whether it was an email or a phone call or a letter or anything like that?
No, not as of yet. We haven't gotten an official update from AFP since we were first alerted to the incident last night, and at that time they said they wouldn't be disclosing any more information until today. Obviously, I understand it's a security threat on Prime Minister. They tend to keep things pretty closely under wraps until they're comfortable releasing what is known to the public.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing when you consider there's been other threats. Jim Chalmers was the subject of threats recently too, was he not, Emily?
Exactly, and we've seen this on the rise, and we know that ASIO and AFP, every time, whether they're up at a committee or giving a briefing, they have been telling us about this growing threat and growing risk to politicians, not just the Prime Minister, but as you said, the Treasurer. We've had other officials as well. So just goes through sort of the political climate at the moment. We hear from the Prime Minister things like taking the temperature down, and thankfully nothing happened this time around. But like you said, we know those threats are increasing on politicians across the board.
Yeah, it's bloody ridiculous. I mean, we've got these things in Australia for getting rid of politicians, and they're called elections. And they work in a transparent and open way. It is disturbing. It doesn't matter which politician it is who's getting hassled, be it someone from One Nation or someone from the Greens, ALP, Liberal. It's just appalling. Emily Saunders for Channel 9 at the Lodge in Canberra. Thank you for joining us.
It was about this time yesterday we spoke with our own Jono Edwards, who was out on the road for 7, covering a couple of deliberately lit fires. One of the that we saw, and we put it up on the live stream yesterday, was the Solace Barber Studio, which had CCTV from within the premises showing people breaking open the window, putting accelerant on the ground and lighting up the entire place. It was burnt out and totally destroyed. Devastating for a young small business owner, but he took it as much as you can in his stride. And there were extraordinary pictures last night of Jamal out the front of the burnt-out barbershop. One of the most striking images you could ever see, with a barber chair, the clippers in hand, continuing to cut hair. It was a remarkable image. Chris Ward is Jamal's father and joins us now on 5AA Breakfast. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, it's a wonderful work ethic you guys have showed, Chris. Good on you for not letting them stop you from going out there and working.
Thanks. You don't let the bullies dictate what happens in life, do you?
No, absolutely. And were there customers there? Did people still turn up for haircuts?
It was flat out all day. They were a huge day. It was actually pretty busy for a Tuesday. They're busy every day, but Monday, Tuesday, they're quieter days. Yesterday was pumping all day.
Yeah. How's Jamal holding up, Chris? He must be a bit shaken up after an incident like this.
Yeah, of course. But, he's he's got enough sort of tenacity to be able to, process his emotions in his own time. And while there's the opportunity there to make a bad situation into a good situation, just roll up the sleeves and get on with it. You can, go through your emotions at home, talk about stuff at home, but, while the sun's shining and there's customers and, there's the opportunity to, let the world know we're still doing business, why not take it,
So how long has Jamal had the barbershop there in Ridgehaven, Chris?
Yeah, so this shop's only been open for about 5 or 6 months. It's brand new. Both himself and his business partner, Kane, have been barbers since the day they left school. They've been working at this for years, building up to this point. Jamal's just turned 20, Kane's 21. So it's been a long time coming, and was always their big dream to have this kind of barber studio. And obviously, they've done it very well, and they've created the vibe they want, and everyone's welcome. It's always fantastic scenes when you're in the shop. All the customers, either they come as groups of friends or colleagues, workmates, or just random strangers rock up. No, everyone gets chatting. There's real community in that shop. Everyone loves their whole experience, not just the best haircuts, but also the whole experience of being there. And that was still alive yesterday.
Yeah,
probably
totally.
more so. Everyone's showing solidarity.
Chris, does he plan on reopening the shop in the same location?
Well, that depends, because they don't own that property. The boys are just renting that property from the owner. Obviously, after a fire like that, that's going to be a whole rebuild, so that's not going to happen really fast. In the meantime, they'll find some other premises or some other way of trading. If there's room out the back, put a shipping container office or a marquee or whatever. If there's another business premises nearby that they can rent, they'll do that.
Are there any
If
theories?
anyone's listening and you've got a commercial property nearby, give the boys a call. Reach
Absolutely,
out.
Chris. Are there any theories as to what the motivation was for this attack?
Not that we could speculate on. They've got no enemies. They've had no threats. Obviously the people who did this have left enough of a trail of evidence that the police will definitely catch them. So we'll find out in due time what the motivations were. But anything we say now would just be a wild guess. Say more about us than about the actual people or the situation.
Yeah. Well, good luck to your son, Chris.
Yeah,
he
thank
sounds
you very
like a
much.
very enterprising young man. Him and his partner came. Good work ethic, and we hope that they get back on their feet. Sounds like yesterday. Maybe it'll be the shot in the arm the business needs. Who knows, to really make it take off. But thanks for joining us this morning, mate.
14 minutes to 7. We're going to check in with the Weather Bureau in a moment. Couple more entries for the reverse Olympics. David says the event I would come last in is spelling. I think I'm the only person that's managed to wear out our computer's spell checker. Thank you, David. And Jason says all my family members would come last for trying to reverse a trailer.
Yeah.
Is that a humble brag from Jason there? Does he mean excluding himself?
No, I think Jason,
or is he including
he's
himself?
The trailer guy. No,
I
think
he's
saying,
I think he's saying
if you want a trailer reversed at the Brennan household, get Jason.
Jason's your go-to trailer
others,
bloke.
No
chance whatsoever. Reverse Olympics. What event would you come last in on planet Earth? 8223 or you can text to 0480 1395. We've got gluttony tickets to give away. Let's talk weather. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson at the Bureau is on the line. Daniel, good morning to you. What's Wednesday looking like?
Yeah, so we're generally fairly warm at the moment. First start to the morning, 17.8 degrees in the city. And as we move into today, we're on for a maximum of 30 or so. Going to see mostly sunny conditions. If you're out and about at the moment, you may have noticed a bit of wind around. We do have a damaging wind warning out for parts of the Mount Lofty ranges, as well as sort of the south and eastern far suburbs of Adelaide. And that's due to some gusty winds coming down over the lofty southeasterly winds. So those are going to stick around through the morning, probably be on the way into your commute. Unfortunately, if you had an umbrella, it would probably turn inside out, but you won't be needing it, at least, because we're not expecting any rain today. And we'll see those winds back off as we get towards midday. Moving into tomorrow, still looking like a fairly warm one, 33. Still going to be windy overnight, but probably not as bad as what we saw last night as well as into this morning. And then really the thing on everyone's lips is the possibility of rainfall coming through as we move into Friday. Probably expecting that to start to develop around Friday afternoon, but if things slow down a little bit, it may shift more into the evening, and then broadly we can see rainfall for large parts of the state, including Adelaide on Saturday. So looking like these totals are starting to shore up a bit. So we've missed the last couple of rainfall events in Adelaide, but we've got quite a few days where we could have a decent chance of seeing some rain, particularly that Saturday.
Good stuff, Daniel. Thanks for that. We'll wait and see how it all plays out. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson from the Weather Bureau.
All right, it's here to say, Paulson, your constable Rebecca Stokes joins us. Rebecca, there's about 321 properties without power primarily in the Wingfield area this morning. You've got some information about why that power's out.
Yes, police received reports that a truck hit a Stobie pole while travelling east on Francis Street at Wingfield just before 6 a.m. this morning. The transformer exploded and power lines were knocked down, and power's been reported out across the Wingfield and Ottaway areas. The truck didn't stop, and it was last seen heading east. Motorists are asked to take care in the area as more traffic lights may be affected by the outage. So Francis Road and Davis Street are both closed to traffic in both directions this morning. Drivers are asked to take an alternative route. SA Power Networks are attending to restore power, and it sounds like it's going to be an all-job day for them. So anyone with information about this truck that didn't stop after knocking down the Stobie pole can contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Rebecca, also, there's been a house fire in a vacant house in Elizabeth North overnight.
Yeah, just after 8:30pm last night, police and fire crews were called to Laverstock Road at Elizabeth North by reports of a vacant house on fire. On arrival, they found the dwelling fully ablaze. MFS extinguished the fire, but extensive damage had been caused. There were no reports of injuries, and the fire is being treated as suspicious. Our crimes and investigators will attend and examine the scene this morning. It's the second fire at the property. It was the vacant property was also damaged by a suspicious fire on the 12th of January. So anyone with any information about either of these fires can contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
And Rebecca, you've caught up with a bloke who was inside an abandoned servo overnight.
Yes, the man was arrested last night. We were called to an abandoned service station on Wiley Road at Lower Light about 8:40pm. Reports that a person was breaking in, and on arrival, patrols allegedly located a 49-year-old Dublin man inside the premises, and he was swiftly arrested. He's been charged with being unlawfully on premises, and he'll face the Elizabeth Magistrates Court in April. But yeah, the Lower Light servo's been abandoned for some months, so not sure what he was after there.
I was going to ask you, it'd be like breaking into Mick Scorpos's petrol outlet on Marion Road that's been closed for about 25 years, as far as I can tell. What's the point?
Yeah, maybe some stale chips or...
yeah. Or maybe one of those Mrs. Mac pies. They've generally been there for about 10 years.
Probably still good as new.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I really hope they don't advertise with us. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes from SAPOL. Thank you.
8223 000 is the number to call for the rumour file that opens next half hour. If you want to register your interest with Paddy and Em, you can call in right now. 8223 000. Thorn Clark Wines. I tell you what, get your Thorn Clark wine in the rumour file, and you can have a glass with us on election night.
Yes.
To digest all that happens. So it would be nice if we were communally, the 5AA audience.
Virtual wine tasting.
We're all trying to work out what the election was saying whilst having Thorn Clark wine.
Yeah. It'll be like, like those Zoom meetings. You know those terrible things during COVID where you'd catch up with your friends on Microsoft Teams and have a bottle of red and all go, hello, here we are.
Oh, no, we never did that once.
I did it once with mates, and after about half an hour I said, this is bullshit. This is just making me depressed. We're meant to be at Wedding, and instead we're online. I feel like I'm in a work meeting.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink the rest of this wine on my own and then just go to bed in a funk, hoping that this lockdown nonsense stops.
Fair enough too. We're going to check traffic and come back with more in just a moment.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. Dry Creek burst water main to look out for this morning. Grange Junction Road near Churchill Road. It's the one that fixed up last week, but clearly not very well. So that's back again. That'll be awful this morning with rain restrictions in place. Avoid that today. A couple of blackouts. One at Mansfield Park, Grange Junction Road near Wingfield Road affecting lights. Another one a bit out of town at Cudler, Main North Road near Tiver Road. Camera, Porter Expressway, Gilman. Get ready for Clean Up Australia Day. Let's get our gloves on this Sunday to give back to a place that we call home. Register now at cleanup.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
This state election, it's a fit in with you thing, with more ways to vote than ever. Enrol today or check your enrolment at ecsa.sa.gov.au. Voting, it's a good thing. Authorised by M. Sherry, Electoral Commissioner, Adelaide, South Australia.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip. With over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Ford in Clare, with a great selection of the best value new, demo and low kilometre Ranger, Everest and Mustang. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Ford. View our whole range of Ford at steinborner.com.au.
On Thursday, March the 5th, join Operation Flinders Foundation for an exclusive lunch at the Hilton Adelaide with one of Australia's most respected journalists, Tara Brown, in conversation beyond the headlines.
Tara has covered some of the most defining moments in investigations from the 21st century, including September 11, the Jeffrey Epstein saga and the Church of Scientology.
You'll remember her confronting interview with cancer con artist Belle Gibson, plus her investigation into Peter Scully being among her most powerful works. All funds raised from the lunch support Operation Flinders Foundation and its work transforming the lives of young people.
For more information on the exclusive lunch, Thursday, March 5th, and to purchase your ticket or a table of 10, search Tara Brown Beyond the Story Luncheon on Humanitix. Tickets are selling fast, so don't miss out.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Harvey Norman's got 3 great Lenovo options that make laptop shopping pretty easy. If you just need something for the basics, emails, streaming, the kids' homework, the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 is just $358. Save $140. Want something with a bit more grunt? The 15-inch Slim 3 with Ryzen 5 gives you loads more speed and storage so you can juggle work, study, Netflix and spreadsheets without that laggy frustration. Only $798. Save $400. And if you're ready for serious multitasking, creative work and the latest AI features built in, the Lenovo Copilot Plus model is perfect with 32 gig of RAM and a fast 1 terabyte SSD. Just $1,498. 3 levels of Lenovo quality available now at Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
4 to 7, few more nominations for the Reverse Olympics this morning, inspired by World Maths Day that you can register for today. David and I won't be registering because we would come last, a la the Reverse Olympics. Bianca says, getting out of bed on time. Too much time lying around and listening to you guys. Good on you, Bianca.
Thanks, Bianca.
We thank you for doing so. Now, a few others have come through as well. 8223 You can text us on 0480 081395. Andrew's nominated their flatmate, coming in last and reversing the car into the carport. Takes 3 goes every time and always ends up against one side and crooked. Sometimes the person has to get out via the passenger door. Thank you for that, Andrew. We're coming up with the Reverse Olympics. What would you come last in on planet Earth?
I reckon I'd come last in reading the news, something you do every night.
No, you did it.
Well.
People have heard it. You were fine.
I was terrible.
No, you weren't.
No, I was terrible.
You hammed it. You hammed it up a bit.
The way you have to talk, the way you have to talk, the sort of, no, like you just sound like I'm now on TV. It's a different way of speaking, and I can't do it. Daniel in Hillier wants to know. He says, are you guys doing democracy sausage this election? It was one of the highlights of the year last year, listening to a recipe about building a sausage being crafted by the listeners, and then on election day going with the kids to get one. Well, I think we are. I'm not sure who we're doing it with.
We're trying to make it happen, Daniel.
Yeah.
We want to keep the democracy alive.
There was a bit of... I tend to agree. Some people said they thought the sausage was a bit too full on. Last year.
We can pare it back.
Big flavours.
Second iteration.
Garlic, red wine, rosemary. Like, that's pretty in your face. The garlic and the wine. It was very winey tasting sausage. I liked it, but it was a dense sausage. It wasn't a light sort of supermarket style sausage.
But with any sort of disrupted technology or brand, the first iteration's always sort of more ambition than achievement.
And sausage was in beta.
It was. We'll commercialise it this time around.
Yep.
Or democratise it, you might even say.
That's right. All will be revealed.
Yes, the election not too far away. There's plenty to talk about on that front after 7 o'clock this morning. Anyone on KI have any thoughts on the Sealink ferry, the Sealink asset sale, but not the KI ferry? Interesting story that Kelsian, who owns the Sealink ferry, has sold a whole heap of their assets, $161 million worth, to a group called Journey Beyond that runs the GAN and
the Overland.
That's right. So they're going to take over a whole bunch of Kelsian's properties, including the Gari Beach Resort, which is Fraser Island, Captain Cook Cruises, Sealink Tourism Ferries in Queensland, WA, Northern Territory and Tassie, Adelaide Sightseeing in South Australia. However, Kelsian are hanging on to the Kangaroo Island ferry service because apparently it makes an absolute mozza. I wonder how our KI residents feel about that. Would have they liked to see a bit of disruption in that space? If that's you, or you have to go across regularly, maybe you're a builder or you're doing work on the island, we'd love to hear from you. 8223 0000 is the number. 5AA News is coming up. The Rumour File next hour. Sean Fuster. And a little bit later, we are going to be chatting to Koshi about this big story in The Age. Port making moves in the Alberton area, buying up a whole heap of property. What does it mean? You'll find out a little later.
Connected to our community for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and a top of 30 degrees today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
The state government is promising to preserve a rail corridor that could see metro trains run through to Two Wells. The plan for future growth in the northern suburbs, the 33-kilometre rail corridor will link to the rail network at Dry Creek, winding through Waterloo Corner and Riverlea before finishing at Two Wells. Work is also underway to secure rail corridors to Roseworthy and Concordia in the north and Sellex Beach in the south through amendments to the planning code. Northern Adelaide is the fastest growing region in the state and expected to account for 40% of Greater Adelaide's population increase over the next 30 years. A power outage around Wingfield and Ottaway this morning has been caused by a truck crash. Francis and Davis streets are closed as crews begin the job of restoring power. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says patrols are searching for the truck which left the scene.
Yes, the police received reports that a truck hit a Stobie pole while travelling east on Francis Street at Wingfield just before 6 a.m. this morning. The transformer exploded and power lines were knocked down, and power's been reported out across the Wingfield and Ottaway areas. The truck didn't stop and it was last seen heading east.
A vacant house in Adelaide's north has been extensively damaged in a fire last night. Nicole Bradley from the MFS says fire crews were called to Laverstock Road at Elizabeth North just after 8:30, finding the dwelling fully ablaze.
3 MFS appliances plus 3 support vehicles attended the scene with a total of 16 firefighters involved in the response.
The same property was also damaged by a suspicious fire on the 12th of January. Police are appealing for information. A record number of older Australians are remaining in the workforce. Gabrielle Hodson has more.
Australia now has 760,000 workers over the age of 65, a jump of 100,000 in 2 years. That's the highest since records began 30 years ago. News Corp says the likely trigger is the pension age increasing in 2023 from 65 to 67, while the opposition claims it's due to the high cost of living, unaffordable rents and never-ending mortgages. But the Council on the Ageing says people delay retirement to stay engaged. Economists believe another reason is more people are doing jobs that don't leave them injured or exhausted, meaning they're still well and truly capable of work beyond age 60.
Australia's newfound love for electric vehicles has cut the carbon emissions of the transport sector for the first time since COVID lockdowns. EVs make up 13% of all new cars sold in 2025. That was a driving factor in the 1.9% reduction in the country's greenhouse gas emissions last year. Nurses claim urgent care clinics aren't being used to their full capacity because of administrative red tape. It's understood nurses are prevented from performing routine procedures they typically handle in hospital settings. The setback comes as a government report shows the clinics are struggling to recruit and retain qualified staff. Frances Rice from the Australian College of Nursing says her members should be able to use their full range of clinical skills.
Only 63% of nursing staff say that they're working at the top of their scope of practice in those clinics, compared with 80% of medical staff. And 52% of nursing staff say that their workload is manageable, compared with 59% of medical staff.
Paramount has taken another swing at acquiring Warner Brothers, upping its offer in the escalating takeover war. The bid is higher than its previous $30 per share that was rejected. Rival bidder Netflix will now have the chance to match the offer. And millions of Aussies are waiting on a friend to pay them back. New data reveals 1 in 10 have not been repaid money they lent to a mate. Gen Z are the worst offenders. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get to Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
Still owes me money. Here's Tom Wren.
I was going to say, I've got your pineapple in my pocket for you, Kate. Let's start with a little bit of football now. Port Adelaide has been shoring up its future, purchasing 26 properties in Alberton worth around $20 million. It's being reported this morning that about half has been funded by the AFL. Meantime, the Crows have finalised their leadership group for the upcoming season, with Jordan Dawson again to skipper the side, with Riley Thilthorpe and Isaac Cumming joining the 7-man team. Well, the worst-kept secret in Australian tennis has just been made official. Craig Gabriel reports.
After more than 20 years at Tennis Australia, Craig Tiley will be returning to the United States and will be heading up the United States Tennis Association, and that includes being the big boss at the US Open. The 64-year-old South African board administrator will be taking up his new role sooner rather than later. He lived in America for a number of years, and his wife is American. He transformed the Australian Open into a tennis hub and a festival of entertainment, and constantly had record prize money and attendance. This year, there were over $111 million and more than 1.3 million people attended.
On the court, a great result for Alexi Poprin overnight, winning through to the second round of the Dubai Championships, but fellow Aussie Alex de Minaur has been stunned at the Mexico Open, losing in the first round to world number 103, American Patrick Kypson. Australia has beaten India by 6 wickets in the women's one-dayer overnight, which was played in Brisbane. Meantime, England has taken care of Pakistan by 2 wickets overnight at the T20 World Cup for the men. And Newcastle is 2-0 up against Qarabag in their European Champions League clash this morning. That match is approaching half-time. That means the Magpies are now 8-1 up on aggregate and are set to move into the round of 16. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there at Dry Creek, a burst water main, Green Junction Road near Churchill Road. Got lane restrictions in place. They'll be very slow this morning. Wingfield truck has taken out a Stobie pole, Francis Road and Davis Street. They're closed at the moment and there are blackouts in the area affecting lights, including Green Junction Road. Cameras this morning at Grenfell Road, Banksia Park and Main North Road at Enfield. Harbour Town's Get Outlet sale starts Friday. Score an additional 40% off footwear at Nike, 60% off store-wide at Michael Kors, plus more. This Friday to Sunday at Harbour Town. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 30 degrees. Sunny tomorrow too, 33. A shower or two on Friday and 32. Storms and showers forecast for Saturday and 29. Right now, it's 17 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 7, federal Liberal leader Angus Taylor will join us on 5AA Breakfast in the next 10 minutes in town as part of the State Liberals campaign for the March state election. We are taking your calls this morning on the Reverse Olympics, the event that would needed to be added for you to come last on planet Earth, inspired by the World Maths Day that's taking nominations today. I like this one from David. David says, guys, I come last at gardening. When I select a plant at Bunnings, it starts screaming. As I take it to the checkout, it knows it's going to die.
That's very well written.
David, that's excellent. David in Port Lincoln, thank you. We do have gluttony tickets to give away, and we will do that.
Do you talk to your plants, folks? Prince Charles famously said that he talks to his plants many years ago. But
does it help? I need all the help I can get.
I've never done it.
I give David all the... Your plants are healthy.
Talk
You're
to
happy.
the parsnips or talk to the... I should talk to all my fruit trees that have been ravaged by rats. I just sort of decided basically I grow fruit trees for the benefit of rats.
You've had that problem for a long time, haven't you?
I've given up. If you don't net the whole thing, you're stuffed.
Yeah.
There's so many of the damn things around. Anyway,
hey, yesterday, you would have seen it
with my problems.
You would have seen it on 7 News last night. The parents of Gus Lamont released some new images and video of little Gus in the hope that it will help people find him. They issued a pretty heartbreaking plea as well, saying our lives have been shattered. Every moment without him is unbearable. We know someone out there may have information. If someone knows what happened, we are pleading with that person or anyone who may have seen or heard anything to please come forward. Hannah Ford has been covering the story from the very beginning of Gus's disappearance for 7 News. Hannah, good morning to you. This was a significant moment hearing from the parents yesterday, wasn't it?
Good morning. Yes, absolutely. We haven't heard anything from for Jess and Josh, the parents of Gus Lamont, and they've probably felt like they can speak a little bit more freely, considering police have now said that they believe they are not involved in his disappearance whatsoever. And like everyone in Australia and South Australia, they are wanting answers. They are incredibly private people. So to put out this statement yesterday was incredible, like huge for this investigation and for them personally. I understand the video that was released as well is the first moving images we've seen of him. And for your listeners that haven't seen it, it is a heartbreaking video. It's little Gus who is on his balance bike. He's got bare feet. He's pushing his way up a hill. He's got his beautiful blonde curls that are flowing out the back. And he's wearing a wide-brimmed grey hat, very similar to the one that he disappeared in. He was wearing a blue jumper. And he was pushing his way up the hill at Oak Park Station, only a few metres from where he was last seen or where he disappeared 5 months ago now. And also at a similar time, it's an eerie sort of video as well. It's sweet because he's smiling and we know that he's a cheeky, adventurous boy. But it's also slightly haunting in the fact that it's a similar place and it's also the similar time. The sun is setting in the background and we know he disappeared as the sun went down on grand final day that night. So I believe it's hard to watch. They're precious moments because it was only a few weeks before he went missing, I understand. But hopefully someone will see that video and think or remember something that can help police get some answers here.
What do you think the logic is in doing this now, Hannah?
I think every piece of evidence, every clue is crucial. And obviously police want to keep this case in everyone's minds, everyone's heart. It's so long now. It's 5 months. So people's memories are going to start to fade. And there's a lot of information that maybe people haven't come forward with because they don't believe that it will be useful. And hopefully now when they see this sort of image and they understand that they've got two parents who are just heartbroken, shattered, the darkest days of their lives is what they've said. You know, they just need answers. So maybe now's the time to come forward with even something so small that can help find this little boy or solve this case.
And Hannah, has there been any more word from police about whether the grandmothers are cooperating or helping with the investigation, or is there still a bit of a blockage there, or has no further light been shed on the status of that relationship between them and SAPOL?
From what I understand, Josie Murray, the grandmother that was charged with holding an illegal silencer, only last week she is still not cooperating with police, as far as I understand, as far as police say. Shannon, though, the other grandmother, I understand is, and that is the status quo at the moment.
And are they both still at the property with the mum?
I understand the grandparents are. I don't believe the mum is living there at the moment, from what I understand. And it was the other interesting thing about yesterday's statement is it's being very unclear about the relationship of the parents. So to know that, in their words, they are united in finding answers and they're united in their heartbreak shows that they are working as a union, which I think is probably important for the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Hannah, thank you for joining us again. It remains an enduring and heartbreaking mystery what happened to poor little Gus. Hannah Ford, who's been covering this from the start for 7 News, Adelaide.
Big crime story in South Australia. Police treating it as a major crime. Big developing news on a crime story in New South Wales. One of the most awful stories we've had in recent weeks. The grandfather, Chris Bagsarian, an 85-year-old who was kidnapped and killed in a case of mistaken identity, whose remains were found yesterday. Sky News reporting just to hand, 2 men have been arrested in relation to that awful story out of New South Wales. So that is news just to hand on a big news story in Australia. We'll have more on that over the course of the morning. We might take a quick break. The rumour file coming up shortly. We're already getting some rumours texted, and if you call in, you're in pole position for the Thorn Clark wines, the magnificent shot fire range. We'll get to that very, very shortly, the rumour file. But on the other side of this break, Angus Taylor will join us on 5AA Breakfast.
At Wingfoot, a truck has taken out a Stobie Pole, Francis Road and Davis Street. They're closed at the moment and there are blackouts in the area affecting lights, including on Grand Junction Road. Busy for works at Salisbury Heights, the Grove Way near Green Valley Drive and slow going south road, Karata Park. Canberra this morning, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove. Get ready for Clean Up Australia Day. Let's get our gloves on this Sunday to give back to a place that we call home. Register now at cleanup.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
Up to 3,137 elderly Australians are unnecessarily occupying public hospital beds, medically fit for discharge but stuck due to a dire shortage of residential aged care places or home-based support. This bed block is costing taxpayers over $1 billion annually.
Graham Goodings.
Yet the federal government claims it can't find the funds to build new aged care facilities.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Insights from SA Best's Connie Benares. What does the balance of power mean?
It's the magic number the government needs to make or break a deal.
Connie, why is it important for your party, SA Best, to have a seat in Parliament?
You insure your home, you insure your car, you insure your health. Your upper house vote ensures your democracy. When things go wrong, independents and minor parties are the ones who fix it. The upper house exists to scrutinise. If one party controls everything, it just doesn't work.
Authorised by C. Benares, 7169 Unley Road, Unley, SA 5061. Published by SA Best.
The King Living anniversary sale ends soon. Save up to 50% on Australian-designed, award-winning furniture. Come home to the future of furniture. Come home to King. Sale ends soon. Shop online or visit a King Living showroom today.
Here's an important air conditioning tip from Morford Air. Never give your teenagers control over the aircon remote. Your energy bills could go through the roof. Instead, for summer, set it around 21 degrees. It's the most energy efficient temperature. And if you turn it on early, before the teens are out of bed, your system will have less work to do, keeping your home cool all day. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford Air.
I choose to get my exercise in with a side of sunrise.
I choose Keaton for a home that really feels like one.
We choose to start the weekend early.
On Thursdays.
Sometimes Wednesdays.
I choose to step up, not slow down.
I choose what's going to work best for me.
I choose my place. I choose confidence. I choose Keaton. Ready to explore what's possible? Visit keaton.com.au.
Summer's here. Time to get your new Walco pool blanket. Made from quality materials, a Walco pool blanket will keep your pool clean, warm and reduce evaporation. Uncover the savings now. Visit walco.com.au.
It's been a busy 4 years for Labor. We returned our trains and trams to public hands and made them cheap for students and free for seniors. We introduced tougher penalties for child sex offenders. We rescued Whyalla and 1,000 jobs at Bedford. We grew our energy supply to 75% renewable, on track for 100 next year. We opened 5 new technical colleges and celebrated our first graduating class. We fought to get Gather Round and Live Golf. Oh, and Katie too. All that in just 4 years. Imagine 4 more. Authorised A. Burke, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula, live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
19 after 7. Well, for the first time since he has taken the reins as the leader of the Federal Liberal Party, Angus Taylor joins us on 5AA Breakfast live in the studio here in South Australia to lend some assistance to Ashton Hearn's campaign in the state election. Leader, good morning to you.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
No, and congratulations on your elevation to the role, Angus Taylor. Obviously, it's a tumultuous time for the Liberal Party. We've got One Nation on the rise at both the federal level, and the state election here on March the 21st is being billed as a bit of a litmus test for what sort of damage, either significant or insignificant, One Nation can do to the Liberal vote. What would your message be to those Conservatives who are now saying, "Nah, that's it, I'm out, I'm throwing him a lot with Pauline"?
Well, I think Australians want to see a protection of their way of life. I think they want to see a restoration of their standard of living, which has been trashed under a rotten Labor government at federal level, and we're seeing big economic challenges at the state level here in South Australia as well. And the only pathway back on those things is the Liberal Party. The only pathway back. We are the alternative party of government, whether at the South Australia or the federal level. And I'm out there saying to people, we are getting back to our roots. We're getting back to the things that people understand the Liberal Party stands for, protecting our way of life, shutting the door to people who don't share our values, making sure that we've got a standard of living that is fitting with our history. I mean, we've been going backwards under this Labor government, and people feel it. They're struggling to pay their mortgages, struggling to pay their energy bills, and we've got government that's crowding out the private sector, crowding out small business. We need to get back to those core Liberal beliefs, and I'm confident that with that, we can restore confidence in the Liberal Party.
On the One Nation question, there was a photograph that set tongues wagging here in South Australia yesterday of Alex Antic, the South Australian Senator, meeting with Corey Bernardi, the One Nation leader here in South Australia. People wondering whether that was to do with preferences. Do you think that the Liberal Party should, at state and federal level, have a unified position on how you deal with the question of One Nation preferences?
Well, can I say, I think people were more upset with the fact that Antic was drinking a low-carb beer with Corey Bernardi than anything else. But can I...
Thought their reputation.
Thought I meant to be the hard men of the Liberal Party.
There they were drinking a low-carb beer. Well,
they've joined the moderates.
I thought that was the most striking part of that photo. But putting that aside for a moment to your question, look, this is a matter for the state party as to how they want to deal with that. My starting point is people who are considering voting for One Nation. I want to win them back, and I want to win them back by saying we're a Liberal Party that I'm leading at the federal level that is getting back to those things that people understand the Liberal Party stands for: protecting our way of life, restoring our standard of living, shutting the door to people who don't share our values, re-establishing home ownership as the centrepiece of our country and our economy, getting our energy system back to where it needs to be without the ideology that's been driven by Chris Bowen. These are the things that we stand for, and I'm going to be talking about all the way to the next election.
On the home ownership question, can you achieve the goal of restoring home ownership for younger people without advocating policies that drive down the cost of houses?
Well, you've got to make them more affordable, but the key is to have more houses. If you want more home ownership, if you want more people getting access to a home, you need more houses. It's pretty simple. And the one thing you don't do if you want more houses is put another tax on houses. You don't do that. It's simple. No economist will tell you that putting a tax on something will deliver more of them. It's going to deliver less. So the first thing is avoid doing dumb stuff. And Jim Chalmers and Labor right now, they're talking about putting another tax on houses. Well, that is just the most ridiculous idea. But we do need more houses, and that's the key.
When you talk about things, Angus Taylor, like we need more houses, in South Australia right now, we're hugely excited about the AUKUS deal, for example. Yep. We know what the benefits of that are going to be for the economy, for the local job market. But our Premier made the point last week that we're going to need 10,000 extra people for all these defence positions over the coming 20-odd years. Everybody who works down at Osborne, down at Port Adelaide, has to be an Australian citizen. A lot of them are going to come from existing tradies. You're a Sydney bloke. When you look at suburbs like Campsie in Sydney with a huge Korean population, you ask every Korean bloke on New Canterbury Road, what do you do for a crust? Most of them will tell you they're a roof tiler. We've got these huge contributions that migrants are making in the workforce. So is there a danger that when you're talking about we've got to protect our values, One Nation saying, we've got too many people coming in, that we might actually cut off our nose to spite our face? Because we do need migrants, do we not?
Sure. It's part of the story. It always has been in this country. But it's about getting a balance right. 500,000, over 500,000 in a year, more than the size of Canberra in a single year. That's not balance. You've got to balance housing, infrastructure, services with immigration. And we haven't seen that balance. We need to see it. The numbers have been too high. The standards have been too low. And we need to shut the door on people who don't share our values. So it's a simple set of principles. Labor has failed on this. They've completely failed to deliver the houses they said they were going to deliver. 1.2 million was their target. No one thinks they're even close. They've said that they've set targets for immigration on a regular basis. Every time they've missed them. Every time it's come in above. So Labor's just failing to deliver. They're lying about what they're doing, and they're simply not up to the task right now.
Is it time to have a bit of a bolder look at tax reform in this country? We've been nibbling around the edges. Bracket creep has been reaping billions of dollars for the federal purse, but it's hard to argue that it's doing a benefit to the average householder in the country at the moment. Is it time now from opposition to maybe look at something a bit grander than the way we've treated tax reform in recent years?
Well, we certainly need to see lower taxes, and in fact under Labor we're seeing higher taxes, and inflation is the single biggest factor driving that. If you look forward in the budget, Labor's budget is being funded to a large degree by inflation driving up the amount of tax people pay. That's what's happening. And that is a bad budget. That is a ridiculous situation. So we have to, first of all, get inflation down. And Jim Chalmers has been beaten by inflation. He told us he'd beaten inflation. He's been beaten by it. It's clear. And we've got more figures coming out today. It's going to be outside the Reserve Bank target. It's high.
It's unpopular when you look at the fiscal levers you've got at play to handle inflation, though. It's raising taxes or lowering spending.
Well, let me tell you, inflation is unpopular. People don't want to see the price of everything rising, and that's what's happening right now, and it's happening because Labor has lost control. They're spending too much. They're making it too hard for private sector businesses to invest, and the result of that is you get inflation. It's always been true. When government policy fails, you get inflation. That's exactly what's going on right now. So we've got to get it down, but we do need to shift towards lower taxes.
We were saying before, Angus Taylor, and just finally, we've got these things in Australia. If you don't like politicians, it doesn't matter if they're Greens, if they're One Nation, if they're Labor or Liberal or Nats or Independents. We've got these things called elections for getting rid of politicians. And in light of the incident last night at the Lodge, it's an important thing to reflect upon, is it not?
Absolutely, and I've sent a message to Albo, just sending my best wishes in what's a difficult situation when there's threat of violence, and it is a more present threat for politicians than it has been in the past. Politicians aren't perfect, and we deserve criticism from time to time, and I've admitted to some of our failings in recent times, but no one deserves this.
Well said. Angus Taylor, enjoy your stay in Adelaide.
Thank you.
One final bonus question. Is Peter Malinowskis unbeatable right now?
Well, look, Ashton is fighting hard. She is, as far as I can tell, very well liked here, and there's a good reason for that. She is fighting hard for South Australia, and I think she's going to put in a very, very strong showing. And good on Ashton. Go hard. I'm going to be supporting her every way to Election Day.
No worries, Angus Taylor. Thanks so much for coming in.
Good on you. Great to be with you.
Yeah, 28 minutes after 7, we're opening the rumour file on the other side of 5AA News. A triple pack of Thorn Clark wines. The Shotfire range could well be yours. Give us a call now. Paddy and Em ready and waiting to take your calls. Of course, you remain entirely anonymous. 8223 0000 the number.
Cluedo is coming to the stage. Was it Miss Scarlet in the kitchen with the candlestick? Or Professor Plum in the library with the rope? Murder and blackmail are on the menu when 6 guests gather at Body Manor for a night they'll never forget. It's Cluedo the play, the hilarious murder mystery. This fast, furious and funny whodunit will leave you dying of laughter. Cluedo, a killer night out, literally. Opens March at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book now at cluedoplay.com.au.
Aussie kids are active kids, creative kids, sporty kids. Are you a Weet-Bix kid?
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Harvey Norman's got 3 great Lenovo options that make laptop shopping pretty easy. If you just need something for the basics, emails, streaming, the kids' homework, the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 is just $358. Save $140. Want something with a bit more grunt? The 15-inch Slim 3 with Ryzen 5 gives you loads more speed and storage so you can juggle work, study, Netflix and spreadsheets without that laggy frustration. Only $798. Save $400. And if you're ready for serious multitasking, creative work and the latest AI features built in, the Lenovo Copilot Plus model is perfect with 32 gig of RAM and a fast 1 terabyte SSD. Just $1,498. 3 levels of Lenovo quality available now at Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and a top of 30 degrees today with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
Had a collision? Get in touch with FIVEAA Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
Police are searching for a truck which knocked down a Stobie pole on Francis Street at Wingfield at 6 a.m. and then drove off, causing a transformer to explode. The accident also brought down power lines and has created a blackout through Wingfield and Ottaway, also impacting traffic lights in the area. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says there are road closures in place.
Motorists are asked to take care in the area as more traffic lights may be affected by the outage. So Francis and Davis Street are both closed to traffic in both directions. Drivers are asked to take an alternative route. SA Power Networks are attending to restore power, and it sounds like it's going to be an all-day job for them.
Gus Lamont's parents and police are hoping for a breakthrough after Josh and Jess Lamont made their first public statement about their little boy's disappearance 5 months ago. Describing the 27th of September as their darkest day, they've released a video and a new photo of the 4-year-old, saying they're united in both their heartbreak and their search for answers. 7 News reporter Hannah Ford says it's the first time we've heard directly from Gus's mum and dad.
They've probably felt they can speak a little bit more freely, considering police have now said that they believe they are not involved in his disappearance whatsoever. And like everyone in Australia and South Australia, they are wanting answers. They are incredibly private people. So to put out this statement yesterday was huge for this investigation and for them personally.
The state government has announced they'll preserve a rail corridor that could see metro trains run through to Two Wells. The land set aside will link to the rail network at Dry Creek, winding through Waterloo Corner and Riverlea before finishing at Two Wells. Minister for Transport and Infrastructure Emily Burke says it's about planning for future growth in the northern suburbs.
We know that this hasn't necessarily happened in the past. We don't want those mistakes of the past to happen again. So that's why we're starting the planning process, putting into place what could be a 33-kilometre long rail corridor that is going to be the longest in recent history.
Work is also underway to secure rail corridors to Roseworthy and Concordia in the north and Selleck's Beach in the south through amendments to the planning code. In Sydney, 2 people are in custody over the mistaken identity, kidnapping and killing of a grandfather. Jack Hahn reports.
Less than 24 hours since the innocent 85-year-old's remains were found, the Raptor squad and detectives bursting through the doors of 2 properties in Sydney's northwest, arresting a 24-year-old in a raid in Castle Hill, while a 29-year-old was pulled from a property in Kenthurst and placed under arrest. Both people are now at Riverston Police Station being questioned by detectives about the kidnap and killing of Chris Bagzarian. Police say the 2 men are assisting with inquiries. No charges have been laid, while a significant and sizable crime scene remains in place on the outskirts of Sydney's northwest.
The finance sector union says the Commonwealth Bank must support 300 workers who've lost their jobs. More from Jamelle Wells.
The job cuts are across the retail and business banking and human resources divisions, mostly affecting technology staff. The finance sector union says the cuts are unacceptable after the CBA's recent half-year profit of over $5 billion. It's called for staff to be retrained and redeployed to other positions in the banking group. The union says the rollout of AI must not come at the expense of secure jobs.
And a treat for aviation enthusiasts today. A Cathay Pacific flight sporting the airline's retro lettuce leaf sandwich livery is set to touch down at 10:30 this morning. Cathay is marking 80 years in 2026. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get to Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kate. Port Adelaide is stepping up its work off the field, acquiring 26 properties around Alberton in a $20 million investment designed to shore up the club's future. Tennis Australia boss Craig Tiley has confirmed he's stepping down to take up the role of Chief Executive of the United States Tennis Association. Meantime, on the court, Aussie Alexi Popyrin has moved into the round of 16 in Dubai after a hard-fought 3-set win against Camille Mytrak. It's back to work for the Adelaide 36ers today as they now turn their attention to the upcoming playoffs. League MVP Bryce Cotton telling Rowie and Timmy G they know they have the roster to challenge for the championship.
We've seen who we can be when we're playing at our absolute best. So I think the big thing for us is just trying to figure out how do we get back to that point of where we were a little bit earlier in the season.
Yeah, let's hope they can do it in the European Champions League. Newcastle didn't take long to get to work in their match against Qarabag, going 2-0 up barely 5 minutes into the contest.
And there might be an again here as the second. John Linton. Less than 2 minutes between the first and second goals. A horrible sense of deja vu for Qarabag.
Yeah, audio there thanks to Stan. That means the Magpies now lead 8-1 on aggregate heading into the second half of the second leg of their knockout tie. While in other matches, Norwegian side Bodo Glimt is holding on against Inter Milan. It's currently 0-0, but Bodo Glimt won the first leg 3-1, so lead on aggregate with that score. Bayer Leverkusen and Olympiacos are also locked at 0-0 with Leverkusen 2-0 up on aggregate. While earlier, Atletico Madrid progressed to the round of 16 after a 4-1 win over Club Brugge. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there at Wingfield. Got a truck that's taken out a Stobie pole this morning. That's not great, is it? Francis Street and Davis Street. Blackout affecting the whole area, including the lights at Green Junction Road, so take it easy through there this morning. Busy at the moment, South Road, Karata Park near Anzac Highway, and starting to get really slow, Marion Road at the Anzac Highway intersection. Early morning camera, Duthie Street, Melbourne. Get Nature's Own half price right now at Chemist Warehouse, in-store and online. 1 week only, sale ends today, excludes bulk sizes. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 30 degrees. Sunny tomorrow too, 33 the top. A shower or two on Friday and 32 degrees. And storms and showers forecast for Saturday, a top of 29. Right now, it's 17 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hungry? Subway's got you covered. Order a Subway 6-inch value range sub for just $7 on the Subway app. The Subway 6-inch value range. Big flavour, great value. Order now on the Subway app. Available at participating restaurants.
SA seafood isn't just safe, it's the best. Best when it's bought fresh from your local supermarket or fishmonger. Best shared with friends over a long lunch. And when you're at the beach, best from the fish and chip shop, with a little bit of chicken salt. Buying SA Seafood is the best thing you can do for our fishing industry. It helps our state thrive, and nothing tastes better. So buy the best. Buy SA Seafood.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula, live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes to 8, Sean Fuster in just a moment. We'll go round the courts. The rumour file is open. If you've got a rumour for us, 8223 0000 is the number, and we have a triple pack of Thornclarke wines for you. The Shotfire range, Thornclarke wines, boutique, family-owned, Barossa-grown, thornclarkewines.com.au. They are top-notch. If you're going to the Barossa, you really need to go to Thornclarke Wines.
Such a beautiful spot.
You're not doing it right unless you go there. It is a great spot.
It's very tranquil. It's sort of like right tucked in that sort of north-eastern corner of Anguston, out of town a bit, and beautiful rolling hills, and they've got the little driving range. So you can have a whack with your 9-iron before you sit back and have a
spectacular
Chardonnay if it's a warm afternoon, or get stuck into the reds if that's more your bag.
Anguston, that's a nice review. Some good reviews coming in for Angus Taylor on the text line.
Yeah, predominantly very positive comments along the lines of this one from John down the bay. Wow, finally a Liberal leader who makes sense. I thought Angus would be just another number, but I have changed my opinion of him as a leader. Wendy and Gawler says, David and Will, it was interesting hearing Angus Taylor. Good firm voice, quick answers, positive, clear outlook. In a word or two, impressively sensible. Thank goodness. Love your program. We love your messages, Wendy. Thank you. One here from Dave. He'd sound better if he stopped talking about Labor. Jay in Brompton says Angus Taylor sounds strong and clear in this interview on 5AA. Another one saying they're going to have to be careful. They're never going to out one nation when it comes to issues of race and immigration. But I think overall people are very positive about him. And I tell you what, not talking about yourselves, not holding endless press conferences about whether the coalition agreement is going to last till 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Talking about policy would have to be worth, I reckon, potentially a 10% turnaround in the polls.
Yeah, quite possibly. We will see. Tony's just sent us a text, a big accident, he says, on Ingle Farm at Montague Road, Bridge Road, the intersection there. Tony, thank you. We'll get some more information on that and bring it to you very shortly.
It's time to go around the courts with Sean Fuster on 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 8. Sean Fuster, Chief Court Reporter at The Advertiser, joins us as he does each and every Wednesday morning. A couple of big cases we'd like to talk about with you this morning, Sean. Starting with the top cop and the domestic violence and corruption charges that were a big story yesterday. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, boys, this one took a bit of a turn yesterday. We had known for some time that SAPOL Sergeant Mark Andrew Orford was charged with abuse of public office in addition to domestic violence offending. We'd known that since his arrest several months ago. But what came out yesterday when the case came up for the answer charge date, as they called that, sort of shifted the perspective a little bit, because Craig Caldecott, who was representing Sergeant Orford, said that his client was prepared to plead to an amended information, which means that there's been some throwing behind the scenes. And Sergeant Orford did plead not guilty to a number of charges of aggravated assault, the circumstance of aggravation being that the person allegedly assaulted was his domestic partner at the time. But when it came to the abuse of public office charges, we're used to seeing abuse of public office being about securing a benefit for yourself or for another person. And one of the two charges to which Sergeant Orford pleaded not guilty was indeed that. The other was the much less frequently heard version of abuse of public office, where the allegation was that he had abused public office to cause detriment or injury to another person. And according to the charge, the detriment or injury was caused to his former domestic partner. So the allegation there being that he somehow abused his powers as a South Australian police officer to make life more difficult for the woman that he's alleged to have also assaulted in the course of all of this.
Did the court hear, Sean, how he did that? Like what that what sort of behaviour that manifested itself in?
No, Pembo, we haven't heard that yet. It would be speculation to try to figure it out. The best that we have at the moment is that part of the prosecution case is asking that a can of pepper spray, of OC spray, be forfeited to the Crown as part of the prosecution. So that is alleged to be involved in this somehow. But one would think that would lend more toward the aggravated assault charge than it would toward the abuse of public office charge. So we're still in the dark about that. That will, of course, now go to trial. Sergeant Orford has, as I said, pleaded not guilty, was very emphatic in his denials, and his family and friends outside of court were very emphatic in their support of him. There was a little bit of hip and shouldering outside with the TV crews and things like that, nothing major, just very staunch support for him as he left court.
Is he still serving as a police officer pending pending the trial, or do you get stood down? What's the arrangement there?
The most recent information available from SAPOL on that is that he's been stood down with pay. Now, that doesn't always happen. In the years that I've been covering courts, you sometimes see officers charged with offending and they are stood down without pay. They're directed away from the workplace, things like that. What we have been told by SAPOL themselves is that Sergeant Orford is stood down with pay.
Also, Sean, we're expecting some developments in the Bill Frangos murder trial, namely a plea.
Yep, today is indeed the answer charge day for two men, Yannick Nkangu and Shibuka Kamara, who are the two men accused of murdering Mr. Frangos back in... when was it? Some time ago now, November of 2024. Mr. Frangos was 72. He was found inside his Woodville Gardens home that had been completely destroyed by fire. His dog had survived. He hadn't. The allegation is that these two men have murdered him and then set the house on fire in order to hide the evidence. You might remember, guys, this is the one where it turned out that one of those two men was arrested at the home of a former charity chief executive, Kellyanne Tansley, who was at the time the Zara Foundation chief executive and also had a role in terms of offenders aid rehabilitation. She flew to the UK a couple of days after their arrest. Ms. Tansley, SAPOL says, is not a suspect. She is a witness and she's someone that they would still very much like to get a statement from. But even in the absence of that statement, the case has rolled on and the men are today due to enter their pleas to the charges. If they plead not guilty, it's off to trial in the Supreme Court. If they were to plead guilty to murder or to an alternate charge, something like manslaughter, it would still be off to the Supreme Court, but for sentencing submissions instead.
Yeah, we'll follow that one too. Sean Fewster, the chief court reporter with The Advertiser and, of course, also the co-host of the excellent
Just Lawful
program on 5AA.
Catch you can listen to as a podcast, indeed, or catch it on the weekend. Sean, beyond his great insights into how these cases are going to work, and I look forward to the Frangos case. It's going to be a big story over the course of today. It's often a reminder of how slow the wheels of justice turn.
Yeah,
that case. I was reading one of his reports on it when these guys were first arrested. That was a year ago, and the crime was committed in the year previous. Not a full calendar year, but in the year previous. And here we are, 2026.
Can take forever.
And
and for the
just the
victims
police
of crimes,
beginning. It just takes a huge chunk of your life.
And let's not forget too, not everyone who goes to court's guilty. So
completely.
It's quite possible to have years and years of your life put on hold on account of something which a court ultimately finds you did not do.
Amazing time. They say time flies when you're having fun, but time just flies. 4 years yesterday since the Russia invasion of Ukraine. Can you believe that? 4 years passed as of yesterday. There was a rally on the steps of Parliament last night for people in support and solidarity, Ukrainian diaspora here in South Australia, Peter, but 4 years have passed. It is now officially longer, that war, than the Soviets' war against Germany in the Second World War. That was 3 years and 10 months.
That was what, 42, the non-aggression pact?
41 to 45.
Apart.
That's right, Barbarossa.
Yeah. It's extraordinary, isn't it?
This is a longer conflict.
Geez, the Ukrainians are gutsy people. Like what they're up against. But remember, I reckon we were sitting in here the following day thinking, with Russia's firepower, this is going to be over within weeks.
Well, it was described as a special operation. It was, it was going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, well, they're well and truly stuck there, aren't they?
For longer than the German-Soviet conflict of the Second World War. It's extraordinary.
Hey, love to hear from our listeners in Shido Park, in Hallett Cove, in Merino. What do you think about David Spears making a comeback? Now, I know that there's some listeners who go, oh, can you stop talking about him? Well, the reason we're talking about him is he's going to run.
And our experience doing OBs and talking to people in that part of South Australia is that he still maintains a significant personal vote, popular vote.
And with the political landscape being as it is, he doesn't have to retain a vast vote in order to return as the local member. He needs only come... And remember too, when the big Mallee swing was on at the last election, the only suburban Liberal who defied it was David Spears.
Yeah.
He didn't even go to preferences in black as the Marshall government crumbled around him. He polled 50.1% of the primary vote. So in the current climate where where News Poll has shown that One Nation's on 24, the Libs are on 14, Labor's on 44. So you throw David Spears into the mix. Let's say 4 out of 5 people in black think David Spears is he's run his race, he's a disgrace because of his charges, he's this, he's that, he's whatever. So you take those 4 out of 5 out of it. If he gets 20, or say he gets 25.
It might not be 25. It's going to be a 4-way race.
He only needs to finish in front of One Nation
and the
Liberal candidate. I would say he will definitely... The Liberal candidate was only announced last week.
I don't think they have any hope whatsoever within the Libs of winning that seat.
No.
Do they preference David Spears?
Hang on. Who preferences David Spears?
To the Libs.
Surely they can't. Who knows?
I think One Nation. We don't have many 4-way contests in Australian politics.
One Nation are going to preference
anything could happen there.
Here's another scenario. So say News Poll, the one last week, ends up being as bad as that on polling day. The Parliament, the 47-seat Parliament, ends up being Labor everywhere. Tiny handful of Liberals, maybe a couple of One Nations, but the dominant grouping is independents who decide to band together in a formal way and form a coalition of independents. Who's their leader going to be?
You say David Spears could be the leader of the opposition. It's within the realm of possibility. I like that. If you're in that part of the neck of the woods, you're voting in the seat of black, we're going to do a snap poll with you this morning. Would you vote for David Spears? We now know he is running. Will you vote for David Spears? You can flick us a quick text.
We know 99%. There's a couple of things that still have to happen, but no, we've had a lash this morning. I know that there's been preference talks. I know that he wrote to the Electoral Commissioner. Both of those things are the acts of a man who wants to run for Parliament again.
We're going to talk more about this after 8 o'clock, but we'd love some intel from people who live in the area. You guys are actually doing the voting. You don't have to tell your name or anything else, but
totally anonymous.
Are you still a David Spears supporter, or have you've decided to go other ways with your vote? Let us know. In the meantime, we're going to check traffic.
Smashed us in at Ingle Farm to look out for Preach Road near Montague Road. Solid delays through there. Wingfield, a truck has taken out a Stobie Pole. Francis Road and Davis Street, they're closed at the moment. There are black cats in the area affecting lights, including Green Junction Road, and we're super slow South Road Mile End. Camera this morning, Main North Road in Food. Get the truck you really want with $8,000 off the Ford F-150 model year 23 at participating Ford dealers. See Ford.com.au for full terms. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
If you're after legendary reliability and safety, get a Toyota forklift. Yep, Toyota is still the world's #1 forklift brand, famous across just about every industry for their reliability and safety. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage. And with great electric options and branches all over the country, find the right Toyota forklift for you at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
Do you ever get behind the wheel and feel annoyed, frustrated, angry? You might even wonder why people can't indicate anymore, or maybe just that it would be nice to have a destination you can actually look forward to.
Sounds like you might need a holiday to hit the road out on a wide open highway, looking across boundless territory, or winding through world-class national parks and overflowing waterfalls.
Set up camp under 1 billion stars with no one else around. Test your rig on some of the best tracks in the country If this sounds like you, your best bet is to head north, where vast open roads let you leave the rage behind.
Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. Head to northernterritory.com to find out more.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now, with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Across Greater Metropolitan Adelaide, we hold more suburb records than any other real estate agency in South Australia. From College Park and Norwood to West Beach and Brompton, and through to Mount Barker, Parracombe and St Peters. We're proud to deliver standout results right across the state. No matter what you're selling, our focus is always the same, achieving the best possible outcome. If you'd like to know what your house could be worth in 2026, visit toop.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
6 to 8, Teresa's called in with a traffic update for us. Teresa, what can you see?
Yes, the lights are out on the corner of McGill Road and St Bernard's Road, but also the pedestrian crossing where the SA University is. They're also out, so I'm assuming there's probably a blackout at McGill.
All right, Teresa, thank you for that. We'll have a closer look at that, but appreciate your intel. Thank you for the call. Of course, anyone with any information, give us a buzz at any time on 8223 0000. Dylan in Glenalta made that call, but not with information, but nominating himself for something he would finish last at in our reverse Olympics that we held earlier this morning. Events that, if held globally, you would be the worst person on planet Earth at. Dylan, congratulations. You've won Gluttony tickets to see 2016 live mockumentary that will reclaim the year the music died. Gluttony, home of the biggest shows this Fringe in Rymel Park. There, it's a great venue. You can get tickets from gluttony.net.au.
What was the year the music died? It was the day that Richie Valens and Buddy Holly went down in the plane.
This is 2016, so I'm guessing it's not the Big Bopper and...
Oh, no, this is Prince and everyone. Bowie.
Oh, it would be,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah, yes.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Michael
Jackson.
We're getting old.
Yeah, we are getting old.
Richie Valens. It's a whole generation of who the hell's Richie Valens? The Big Bopper.
Sadly.
All right, let's talk about David Spears in the seat of black. We'll go right into the heart of the seat in Hallett Cove. David, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, boss. Look, I'm on my walk this morning around Hallett Cove, and I'd definitely be voting for David Spears. He's done a lot for this area. As you said, he's very popular, and I'd be voting for him.
Did you use Glenthorne Park, David? I know that was a popular legacy of him as Environment Minister.
Yeah, well, that's right. Glenthorne Park, the Hallett Cove Boardwalk, the Hallett Cove Shopping Centre. He was always in there, and talking to the community.
No, it's interesting, David. We appreciate your call,
Thank
mate.
you. Nice place to walk around in the morning of a morning. Hallett Cove.
Hallett Cove's
great.
I love it.
All right, let's go to Glenn Osmond. So, John,
hey, how are you,
what
boys?
do you make of this?
Look, if Trump can become president after being charged for whatever he did, why can't David Spears go for politics?
Okay.
Continue on. I think. I mean, we make fun of the guy. Why should we make fun of the guy? The guy did something. How many other people have taken drugs and do marijuana and stuff like that?
It's an interesting point, John. Maybe it signifies maybe once upon a time, being charged with anything that Donald Trump had done or David Spears would have been career-ending politically. Maybe the world's just moved. Maybe it's... Well, we'll have to find out in Australia.
There's a few people who are drawing a difference between taking drugs yourself and supplying them to somebody else, which, for those who followed the case more closely, is a bit of a hanging offence in their eyes. People like Grant, who says, as you know, I live in Hallett Cove. I think David Spears should not be allowed to nominate for Parliament, and I definitely won't be voting for him. Then there's people like Judy. He says David Spears just got mixed up with the wrong crowd. Everybody deserves a second chance. Although Judy says that she's in Nollunga, so she's just outside of the seat. Bell says, I don't want my taxes going to a criminal, arrogant, self-serving, insulting. Helen, conversely, says, he's only young, he deserves another chance. We've all made mistakes. So it feels like there's enough of a mixed bag for him to think.
Well, again, 80% of people could say it's a bad idea, and he would probably win the seat, or possibly win the seat. I like this. Someone's texted in, I agree, David Spears for president. That's why I was chuckling along in the background. Another person, this is information for the people of McGill. They've just sent through the text message they got from SA Power Networks. Nothing like first-hand information. Thank you for this person who did put their name to it. Hi, we currently estimate your power will be back on around 10:15 a.m. for McGill. Thank you for that text from that person.
Hopefully by 10, because that's normally when Chili Mojo opens if you need to get any tortillas or chipotles.
10:15, they're giving us a little bit of wiggle room. All right, 5AA News is on the way. Big breaking at 8 for the future of the Port Adelaide Football Club. Next.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets the love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Hey, it's Hayley from Adelaide. Discover cruising like never before with Azamara Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Sail deeper into Europe, Asia and Australia with immersive itineraries, longer port stays and more overnight, so you can truly experience every destination. Receive up to $1,000 US on-board credit per suite on select sailings, including a 14-night Spain, France and Italy cruise from $5,029 per person. Offer ends 31st of March. Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
Adelaide's news leader for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny today, a top of 30 degrees. With the 8 o'clock news, good morning. I'm Kate Collins.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
The federal opposition leader is confident the state Liberal Party will be competitive in the March 21 election. It's despite a recent poll of voting intentions showing a wipeout for the Libs next month, with Labor securing 44% support, One Nation 24%, and the Liberals just ahead of the Greens on 14%. But Angus Taylor believes state opposition leader Ashton Hearn will perform well.
Ashton is fighting hard. She is, as far as I can tell, very well liked here, and there's a good reason for that. She is fighting hard for South Australia, and I think she's going to put in a very, very strong showing. And good on Ashton. Go hard. I'm going to be supporting her every way to election day.
Police and Gus Lamont's parents are hoping a video released of him will lead to a breakthrough into his disappearance. The 4-year-old vanished from Oak Park Station near Yunta on September 27. His disappearance declared a major crime. His parents, Josh and Jess, say they're heartbroken and just want to bring Gus home. 7 News reporter Hannah Ford says the video is haunting.
Eerie sort of video as well. It's sweet because he's smiling and we know that he's a cheeky, adventurous boy, but it's also slightly haunting in the fact that it's a similar place and it's also the similar time. The sun is setting in the background and we know he disappeared as the sun went down on grand final day that night.
A vacant house went up in flames at Elizabeth North last night. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says it's the second fire at the Laverstock Road property this year.
On arrival, they found the dwelling fully ablaze. MFS extinguished the fire, but extensive damage had been caused. There were no reports of injuries and the fire is being treated as suspicious. Our crimes and investigators will attend and examine the scene this morning.
Nearly half of Australia is on flood watch, with a tropical low hanging over central parts of the country. Warnings of severe storms have been issued for multiple states and territories, with some parts of the nation's interior to have nearly a year's worth of rain in a matter of days. It's certainly the case in our mid-north, with towns from Moomba in the northeast to Tarcoola in the central districts and Marla in the far north expecting up to 50 to 70 millimetres over the next 3 days. In Adelaide, as much as 60 mils could fall between Friday and Monday. Weather Bureau senior meteorologist Jonathan Howe says people should be prepared for heavy downpours.
We will see those 6-hourly rainfall totals of between 30 to 90 millimetres continuing over the next few days, and daily rainfall totals will exceed 100 millimetres for many areas.
American TV host Savannah Guthrie says her family will offer up to $1 million for information leading to the recovery of her missing mother Nancy. US correspondent Hannah Sinclair reports.
This is a gut-wrenching plea from the Australian-born TV host who for the first time says her family knows her mother Nancy may now be dead, and if that is the case, they will accept it. Savannah Guthrie breaking down in tears in this latest video as she begged for someone to come forward. Authorities have still not named a prime suspect in this case, despite releasing doorbell footage of an armed, masked man outside Nancy Guthrie's home. The FBI is still offering its own reward for information of $100,000, but as the days and weeks pass, there are concerns this is becoming a cold case.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get to Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
Hello, Tom Wren.
Hello to you as well, Kate. We're going to start with footy. Umpires will have access to statistics when casting their Brownlow votes. The AFL is poised to announce there'll be 16 statistics available to help umpires solidify their votes for each game. Adelaide's players, meantime, will train this morning at West Lakes as they prepare for Saturday afternoon's practice match against Fremantle. Meantime, Richmond great Matthew Richardson is setting a low bar of expectation for the Tigers this year. The legendary forward telling Wide World of Sports while the talent is good, wins will be hard to come by.
They've got some great young talent, but they're still a fair way away. You've got to get, like Hawthorn did under Mitchell, you've got to get 30, 40 quick games into the first-round draft picks that they have. So another year, I would expect if they could do what they did last year and have, 5 or 6 wins, I think that would be a win.
Craig Tiley has stepped down from his role at Tennis Australia as he now gets set to take over in the US. Meantime, Alexei Poprin has come from a set down to win his first-round match at the Dubai Championships. Not so good in Mexico, though, with Alex de Minaur, Adam Walton and Tristan Schoolkate all losing. To cricket, Australia's beaten India by 6 wickets in the women's one-day clash in Brisbane to level the multi-format series. Meantime, England has booked its place in the men's T20 World Cup semi-finals after a Harry Brooks century led them to a 2-wicket win over Pakistan. Adelaide United's players will train this morning ahead of Friday night's grudge match against the Melbourne Victory. The Reds are in good form, having won 4 of their last 6 matches and will be looking for another 3 points to stay in touch with the top 2. Meantime, in European Champions League action, Newcastle is 3-2 up against Karabag in their Champions League clash. There's about 20 minutes to play there. And the Adelaide Thunderbirds have announced Georgie Horgis and Shamira Sterling-Humphrey as co-captains for this season. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Engel Farm, got a crash to look out for Bridge Road and Montague Road. Quite big delays through there. At Dry Creek, a truck has taken out a Stobie pole this morning, causing a few headaches. Francis Street at Davis Street, those roads are closed while they fix that. Lights are at 2 at Green Junction Road because of that one. Quite busy South Road, Mile End. Quite slow Brighton Road, Brighton with the Camera-Duthie Street at Unley. At Pet Barn, there are always irresistible savings for members. Save up to 50% on Simparica Trio Flea Tick and Worm 6-packs. Pets love Pet Barn. Savings based on non-member price. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
Mostly sunny today, a top of 30 degrees. Sunny tomorrow too, 33. A shower or two though on Friday, a top of 32. And storms and showers forecast for Saturday, 29 degrees. Right now it's 17 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
This Mad March, Adelaide comes together for one massive celebration. Racing, fashion, music and performers collide at Mad March's main event, the Sportsbet Adelaide Cup. From champagne pours and front row views to Club Largo, CC Giddy Up Club and family zone fun. Kids under 17 free. Trackside after racing, Shannon Knoll and the Jungle Giants DJ set. General admission from $35. Sportsbet Adelaide Cup, Monday, March 9 at Morfettville.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Go on, just walk away. Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in just a moment. Then after 8:30, following a very illuminating conversation with some voters in the seat of Black, we're going to be chatting with a constitutional expert about what potentially might be a bid for re-election that fails at the starting line. David Spears, is he constitutionally able to contest the seat of Black? We went through the machinations politically, but what about constitutionally? We'll get into that after 8:30 today. But let's not waste any time because we've got a big breaking at 8 this morning.
Well, this is a really interesting story, and it involves one of our regular guests, great friend of the program, great friend of ours, David Koch, the Port Adelaide Football Club chairman and Compare the Market economic director. The Port Adelaide Football Club is now a property developer. This is really interesting. Port has acquired 26 residential properties between Alberton Oval and Port Road since 2023 with a long-term plan for what is called the Alberton Square Development Project. Now, we've been given a briefing note by Koshi, which has got some really impressive artist's impressions, early architectural concept of how this project is going to look. It looks really classy. It looks sort of like some of the really elegant and cleverly designed medium-density housing that we now associate with the sort of Bowden-Brompton area. But we'll get the man himself to explain the thinking behind it. David Koch, good morning. Koch, as president, you've always been an outside-the-box sort of a bloke, and this is an example of that, I would say.
Yeah, it's really exciting for us as a club, and will set us up for the next sort of 40 or 50 years, and make sure that we will always have the financial resources to fully fund football programs and set the club up on a solid financial base. It's sort of a strategy we started in 2023. We basically bought the two blocks from Alberton out to the Port Road and consolidating that around the car park outside the precinct and then the block behind it. So 20,000 square metre land bank. We built a property trust, which the AFL provided a line of funding, and then 20 sort of passionate Port Adelaide supporters funded the purchases of the properties. And at the annual meeting tomorrow night, members will see in the financial accounts that land bank is being transferred to the club now. And we'll see a big increase in assets, sort of $70 million worth of assets on the balance sheet. When back in 2012 we had negative net assets of about 9 or 10 million. Now we've got 70, and we'll build on that with this development.
Kosh, you just mentioned some AFL money. Is there a program that exists for the diversification of revenue streams for football clubs away from footballing activities? What's the mechanism by which they give the money to the club?
It's purely a line of credit. So they're not investing in it at the moment. They might consider in the future when we go into full development of the site. 20,000 square metres, sort of it's got the capacity for 300 apartments.
300?
About 20,000 square metres of commercial space. So it's a big project, but see, one of the issues and what the AFL has warned clubs about for about the last 6 years is that spending on big training and admin facilities are depreciating assets. They get written down all the time. They don't generate income. Why they've been really enthusiastically encouraging us with our plan and really came and backed it is that here's a club that's building an appreciating asset, an investment that will provide an income stream. In today's dollars, the financial modelling on it says that it will provide between $5 and $8 million in income a year. That's in today's dollars for the next 20 or 30 years, and that's revenue that's not tied to on-field performance.
Is that because Port would be the landlord in this scenario, David?
Yeah.
Right.
Now we might bring in partners, superannuation funds. We've had some interest from them, but we're never going to be a seller. Some of the properties we bought back used to be owned by the club, but after it was allowed to come into the AFL, Samful split the Magpies and the AFL licence apart. That weakened both clubs financially, and they had to sell those properties. Well, there are 8 of them. We've actually bought them back. Tell you, I wish they'd held on to them. But anyhow, because they're worth a lot more now. But that just shows you the foundation you can build a club on. And my whole ambition has been to make sure this club never goes broke again.
Are all of the residents in the area? Sorry, Dave. Are all of the residents in the area sort of singing from the same song sheet on this? Like, there's not one house still there with a little granny in it with a port scarf saying, "Hang on a minute, I don't want to move."
No, not at all. So it's 26 properties. Look, there are some on the, if you know the block, there are 1 or 2 on the fringe of it, which we've offered to acquire as well. We don't have to, but because that's a role we play in the community, we've offered to buy them. So that but it's not necessary for the full development.
Have you had any?
And for surrounding residents, it's important to know. We'll have community consultation over the next couple of weeks. We've got those planned already. But access to the site is purely from Port Road. With the redevelopment of the High Performance Centre, we've had to get access through the streets, suburban streets around us, to get the trucks in. But with this development, it's purely from Port Road. So we would hope there's very little interference or with the surrounding neighbourhood.
The development would require rezoning. Have you had any interaction with the council yet about their position on that?
Council are fully aware and very supportive of this. State planning is aware and fully supportive as well. Because where we're positioned around the AUKUS development, all the forecasts show there's a real lack of housing, a shortage of housing stock around that area, and we've had discussions with some of the defence groups that are basing themselves there. They're over the moon that there could be the possibility of housing that is part of a high performance wellness medical precinct, which will be the hub of Alberton Square.
Does it afford you the opportunity, Koshy, to be creative in some other ways as well? For example, paying Zach Butters $1 million a year to be a property manager?
Well, over the pre-season, we could get him on the tools.
Soft cap.
A bit of a side hustle for him.
Yeah, all sorts of things possible.
But look, the whole idea is to make sure that we have a really strong balance sheet. I'm really fixated on this because you just never know where the game's going to go. You don't know the future of broadcasts and media rights and revenue streams that come into a club to support it, to make sure your footy programs at W and the men's are fully funded all the time. And that's that's the whole objective of it, to make sure. We've always said that we wanted to be a financially powerful club, and this is a way of doing it. And the AFL are sort of using us as a bit of a blueprint for other clubs.
Are you going to give it a port-themed name? I was thinking something along the lines of, I don't know, the Granger.
No, Alberton Square is pretty port-themed.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
a good idea.
It's exciting for us.
Yeah, 100%. Wonder if other footy clubs are going to look at this and go, that's an idea. Really interesting chat, Dave. And I'm sure it's going to get a lot of debate. I should also say, too, there's some public forums coming up that I reckon a lot of our listeners will be interested in. Monday, March 16, 6 until 7 at the Port Adelaide Club. That's for members. And then for the residents, Monday, March 23, 6 till 7, again at the Port Club. And people can register via the website. But a fascinating idea.
It's going to be a real showpiece. We're really proud to be a cornerstone of the Port Adelaide community. It commits us to Alberton forever, which we always said we would be, and we'll do it well. It'll be something to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Dave. David Koch, Port Adelaide Football Club chairman. Good story. Big story. I wonder if, Chinese hotels don't have, is it number 4? Because number 4 sounds like death in Mandarin, so they're very superstitious. Is there going to be an apartment 119?
Well, he said there would be 300, so someone's got to live in apartment 119.
Sorry, we've just been very positive about this for 10 minutes.
You asked the question of Koshy about what it being called Port Adelaide Square. Could be more creative with a name? Maybe our listeners could come up with a name for the new Port Adelaide development. 8223 or text us on 0480 1395.
I reckon they should really think about it.
The Granger sounds quite classy, actually.
It sounds like you might just arrive and the doorman will just punch you in the head.
Well, that's all part of the experience, isn't it? Right. All right, let's check traffic.
An Ingle farmer smash on Bridge Road near Montague Road with solid delays. Wingfield truck has taken out a Stobie pole on Francis Road and Davis Street. They're closed at the moment. Big delays through there. And McGill lights out on McGill Road at St Bernard's Road. Camera Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove. Harriscar Friends exclusive 22.50% off store-wide sale is on now. Excludes clearance and gift cards. See conditions online. Harriscar, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The events that shaped our state.
Hello, Station Magistrate. There's been a major explosion in the top story of a building in Weymouth Street.
A bomb tore through the headquarters of the National Crime Authority.
This is a wicked and evil thing that's been done.
Detective Sergeant Geoffrey Bowen lost his life and Solicitor Peter Wallace suffered serious injuries.
Always Adelaide for 50 years. This is 5AA.
On the Cow IQ test, Fluorio milk cows come in at around 100, pretty much the national average. But when it comes to the milk our SA cows produce, it's unmatched. You don't need to be a cow Einstein to produce some of the best milk in the country. You do need the perfect grazing conditions, and the milk needs to be bottled on site and on shop shelves within hours. It doesn't get any fresher, any better, or any more SA than Fluorio Milk Company.
Now, if you're planning ahead for Easter, Samtas Seafoods is your destination for smart pre-Easter seafood value. Open every weekend right through to Easter, including Good Friday and Easter Saturday. Stock up now with Australian barramundi skin-on portions. Yum. Serve barramundi, crisp the skin up with plenty of salt on it and serve it on a bed of lentils. It's superb. They've got it in 1 kilo bags for just $27.99 or 2 kilos for $50. And SA large cooked king prawns still just $21.99 a kilo.
And don't forget about the deal that's the talk of the town. Samtas is famous 4 kilos for $60. Choose from over 20 varieties, including oven-ready crumb Queensland whiting fillets, clean calamari tubes, New Zealand dory, flathead or red emperor, all in fillets, Atlantic salmon cutlets and more. It's big range, serious value, and it's all Samtas factory direct.
And it's the smart way to plan ahead. Buy early, save money, and be ready for Easter before the rush hits. And remember, you can choose Samtas as your $50 dining cashback redemption destination. Premium seafood and money back.
Open 7 days with easy access and free parking on site. Samtas Seafoods, 201 Richmond Road, Richmond. Quality seafood, genuine value.
At Coles, enjoy exclusive first shop deals for your first online shop with us. There's exclusive offers on select fresh produce, baby and pet, as well as spend and save offers and more. Make the most of your first online shop with Coles. Offer ends free March. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blowing up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or electrician, call Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
23 minutes after 8, just spoke with David Koch to get some exclusive details about the new Port Adelaide development at Alberton, which is going to be absolutely massive. And we've been asking you for some inspiration about what the new mixed-use housing commercial development might well be called. The official name is Port Adelaide...
Alberton. Alberton Square.
Alberton Square.
Alberton Square.
Dave from Alberton, what do you think it should be called?
Well, you've just opened this up to ridicule, and I'm going to have to tune out because I don't think it's going to end well. Look, I think, first of all, they obviously kept a very tight circle because over 3 years to do that project without the media getting hold of it, they've done very well. Yeah. I think it's fantastic for the club. Future-proofing financially, whether it be your own home or the club, obviously it's a very good thing for the future, and I think it's great for the area. I don't have another name for it, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to tune out because I think the next few minutes go downhill a little bit on this.
Well, you know, I guess the positive spin is you've got to be the first to have had a development for people to take the mickey out of the said development. So,
well,
you know.
That's right. I mean, it's not like the Crows are on here at the moment being ridiculed that people are going to call it, you know, Chardonnay Heights or, you know, Neerugville.
Apricot Square.
Apricot Square.
Peter,
we've had a few, though. Tarpville, that's one of them.
Peter in Westlake Shore, what do you think the new development should be called?
I've just got one word for it. Mecca.
Mecca? What, the makeup shop?
No, just everyone will flock there, that's all.
Yeah, pilgrimage. You can make a pilgrimage to the Port Adelaide Mecca.
But in the same, in all seriousness, in the same way that when Adelaide Oval was developed, it was a huge opportunity to come up with the David Hooks Bar and the Gary McIntosh Bar and get everyone from Wanganeen to Rashudo, all of the greats, Jack Oatey going back to the golden years for the Double Blues, Bob Hammond, like so many of the people who have contributed to the history of sport in this state. There's all you could looking at. I mean, it looks like a 10-story building is part of it. Like you could have the Ebert wing
completely. Each tower could have a name like that.
Paul Rosonico Gardens. Timmy Evans.
Let's see what our listeners think.
Playground.
Tommy and Henley Beach. What could it be called?
Tommy,
how are you, mate? How are you, Dave? Yeah, I reckon it should be history in the making, 119.
Thank
you, Tommy.
You get to the top and it says the lift's going to the top, where it stops.
Maybe the top floor is just top.
Yeah, that's right. Where do you live? I live on the top.
It's not the penthouse, it's top. Tony and Seaton, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I've got a good name and it can help with all the neighbours around there. Call it In
roommate's corner.
There's been a few variations on that. Someone
you lose points for teeth jokes, folks.
Yeah.
That's just,
Someone described it as Yatla West. That's not very nice. Eberton, someone says. Eberton. Koshi Mahal.
Koshi Mahal.
Geneva Green.
Geneva Green,
Stacey. Stacey. That's our Stacey Lee said that through.
Richmond.
I like that. Geneva Green.
Stacey and Arvos.
Premiership Corner, says someone else.
That's excellent.
Yeah, good suggestions coming through. We pause every so often because there's something that we can't read out that comes through.
Inspired by Koshi's visionary leadership, maybe, I wonder, the people of Unley, how would they, I mean, there's a fence going up, a big, beautiful fence currently going up around Unley Oval. I mean, Sturt's already, Sue Dewing's done a great job turning the club around. What about a 12-storey apartment tower on Cambridge Terrace?
Oh, I can't imagine that would face any opposition whatsoever. Actually, here's a question for you. Will the people of Alberton make as much noise about 300 apartments and a hotel and so forth being built in Alberton as the people of Unley made about an
elegantly designed fence.
1.5 metre high fence?
That's right.
I bet they don't.
They won't. All right. It's soul of the earth people who don't whinge.
March 14 is the day that 5AA turns 50, and we're counting down some of the great moments that have happened since 1976.
5AA turns 50. A lot has happened in that time.
On November 11, 1978, Adelaide Oval hosted a night rock fans still remember. David Bowie in concert. Part of his stage tour, Bowie brought theatrical flair, iconic costumes and unforgettable hits to thousands of fans under the South Aussie sky. The show was loud, electric and unforgettable, cementing his status as a global superstar and leaving Adelaide with one of its most legendary live music moments.
Connected to our community for 50 years. 5AA, always Adelaide.
So that one dates back very early days of 5AA. If you're at the Bowie concert, give us a call. What are your memories? 8223 We would love to hear from someone who was there. We're going to take a break. On the other side of 5AA News, David Spears has indicated, David Penmouth in the Australian Reporting, is likely to run for the seat of Black. But can he? I'm going to seek to answer that question next.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The cost of living is out of control.
But Family First will take the pressure off. They'll cut migration, approve more housing, cut family taxes and slow the race to renewables.
Vote 1 Family First to take the pressure off the cost of living.
Authorised by Lyle Shelton, Family First Party, Norwood.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and a warm top of 30 degrees today. With the 8:30 news, good morning. I'm Kate Collins.
Had a collision? Get in touch with FIVEAA Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
Power remains out around Wingfield and Ottaway this morning following a truck crash. Almost 200 properties are affected and Francis and Davis Street are closed as crews work to restore power. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says patrols are searching for the truck which left the scene.
Yes, the police received reports that a truck hit a Stobie pole while travelling east on Francis Street at Wingfield just before 6 a.m. this morning. The transformer exploded and power lines were knocked down, and power's been reported out across the Wingfield and Ottaway areas. The truck didn't stop and it was last seen heading east.
The state government is promising to preserve a rail corridor that could see metro trains run through to Two Wells. A 33-kilometre stretch of land has been earmarked from Dry Creek, winding through Waterloo Corner and Riverlea before finishing at Two Wells. Minister for Infrastructure and Transport Emily Burke says it's needed to prevent future traffic chaos as Northern Adelaide expands.
It's our fastest growing area with an anticipated 40% of the growth area over the next 30 years. So it's where people want to live, it's where people are moving to.
Work is also underway to secure rail corridors to Roseworthy and Concordia in the north and Sellex Beach in the south through amendments to the planning code. Federal police say they found nothing suspicious at the lodge after the Prime Minister was evacuated over a safety threat. Officers scoured Anthony Albanese's Canberra residence for 3 hours last night before the Prime Minister was able to return to the property. Opposition leader Angus Taylor says it's very concerning.
I've sent a message to Albo, just sending my best wishes in what's a difficult situation when there's threat of violence, and it is a more present threat for politicians than it has been in the past. Politicians aren't perfect. We deserve criticism from time to time, and I've admitted to some of our failings in recent times, but no one deserves this.
The finance sector union says the Commonwealth Bank must support 300 workers who've lost their jobs. The cuts have been announced just weeks after the bank posted a record half-year profit of more than $5 billion. New South Wales Police have made a breakthrough in the investigation into the kidnapping of 85-year-old Chris Baxarian, with 2 men now assisting with inquiries. A police operation is ongoing in northwest Sydney almost a day after what is believed to be Mr Baxarian's body was found on a golf course. He was taken in a case of mistaken identity. Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon says officers are committed to bringing those responsible for the kidnapping to justice.
Investigations are ongoing, but I think it's really important just for me to thank and call out our investigators. They've been working around the clock. Their priority was obviously to have Mr Bagsharian return to his family safe. Tragically, that's not the case, but they have been committed to putting those responsible for kidnapping him before the courts.
A record number of older Australians are remaining in the workforce. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Australia now has 760,000 workers over the age of 65, a jump of 100,000 in 2 years. That's the highest since records began 30 years ago. News Corp says the likely trigger is the pension age increasing in 2023 from 65 to 67, while the opposition claims it's due to the high cost of living, unaffordable rents and never-ending mortgages. But the Council on the Ageing says people delay retirement to stay engaged. Economists believe another reason is more people are doing jobs that don't leave them injured or exhausted, meaning they're still well and truly capable of work beyond age 60.
And millions of Aussies are waiting for a friend to pay them back. New data reveals 1 in 10 have not been repaid money they lent to a mate. Gen Z are the worst offenders. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get to Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
And I'm still waiting for my money, Tom Wren.
It's coming, I promise. Let's start with some footy. Port Adelaide chairman David Koch is excited by the club's acquisition of land, which he says has secured the club's financial future. The Power have bought around 20,000 square metres of land adjacent to the club, and Koch has told David and Will it's a big win.
It's really exciting for us as a club and will set us up for the next sort of 40 or 50 years.
Meantime, newly appointed Brisbane Lions co-captain Josh Dunkley has signed a 2-year contract extension to remain with the club until at least the end of 2030. Well, Craig Tiley is leaving Tennis Australia bound for the US. The Australian Open boss has led the first Slam of the year, transforming it into a 3-week event with record crowds on an annual basis. He'll stay on as part of a transition as Tennis Australia looks for his replacement. Tiley has told Nine's Today Show one of his legacies was steering the tournament through COVID, which has received international recognition.
Those 2 events today, they still talk about it. In fact, I think it was at Harvard Business School. They did a case study of the team at the Australian Open that pulled off that event, both lockdown periods. And so incredibly proud of what the team did then.
A huge upset in the European Champions League, with Bodo Glimt advancing to the round of 16 after knocking out Inter Milan with a 2-1 win away from home, which saw them progress 5-2 on aggregate. Meantime, Newcastle, Bayer Leverkusen and Atletico Madrid are also through to the round of 16. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Ingle Farm, a smash on Bridge Road near Montague Road to look out for solid delays there. Wingfield truck has taken out a Stobie pole, Francis Road and Davis Street. They're closed at the moment while they fix that up. It's affecting lights on Grand Junction Road too. And also got lights on the blink at McGill today, McGill Road at St Bernard's Road. Camera, Main North Road Enfield. South Australia's Caravan Camping and Outdoor Show is on at the Adelaide Showground. Over 170 exhibitors with everything from caravans to outdoor gear. And Sunday, tickets online. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Stuck in traffic? Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. northernterritory.com/drive.
A mostly sunny day for Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 30 degrees. Sunny tomorrow too, a top of 33. A shower or two forecast on Friday and 32 degrees. Staying warm but with storms and showers on Saturday, a top of 29. Right now it's 18 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The Diary of a CEO keeps going where other conversations stop and keeps asking the hard questions worth answering. Keep good company with the Diary of a CEO podcast.
This summer, you can enjoy 50% cash back, up to $50 from your coastal dining or seafood purchases in the Dining Cashback program. The last draw closes 28th of February. Make the most of the Dining Cashback program now. For entry and full terms and conditions, visit southaustralia.com/dining cashback. Don't wait. Last draw closes 28th of February. Limitations apply. Licence number T25/2026.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Want to be part of something that could change lives? CMAX is conducting a clinical study investigating a potential new treatment for those living with the effects of a stroke. If you're aged 18 to 65 and generally healthy, you could help advance this important research. By participating, you'll stay 3 nights at CMAX in Adelaide CBD, attend 1 follow-up visit, and be paid for your time. Find out more and apply at cmax.com.au.
Hi there, Brett Ibbott here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. They're kicking off the year with a big one. All 2025 plate Mazdas are priced to clear. Plus, a massive range of low-kilometre demos that must be cleared as well. Take a look at their extensive range of models and colours. No gimmicks, no fuss. Just the best price and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. The 2025 plate clearance, on now at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Salisbury Highway, a short drive from the city.
Harris Scarf Friends exclusive 20 to 50% off store-wide sale is on now. Save big on full-price bedding, kitchen, electrical and more. Don't miss out. Sale ends soon. Excludes clearance and gift cards. See conditions online. Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
Oh, geez, it's hot in here. Can someone pass the Morford air? Oh, that's better.
When the temperature is too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air, Adelaide's own homegrown family air conditioning company. Morford Air has kept South Australians perfectly comfortable for over 50 years. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, you can always reach for the Morford Air. Look for the bright blue building at 602 Marion Road or visit morfordair.com.au.
Morford. Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 9. The Bureau has put out a severe weather warning for strong winds in the last half an hour. They say it'll ease by the late morning, but Mount Lofty Ranges, there's a high-pressure ridge for to the south and a trough in the north that mean that over the hills there's going to be some damaging winds averaging 65 k's an hour, gusts up to 100 k's an hour over parts of the Mount Lofty Ranges and the Metro Adelaide area over the course of this morning. Western slopes of the Mount Lofty Ranges to be particularly affected, the foothills and eastern and southern suburbs of Adelaide. So be aware that it might be pretty windy out there, at least until late morning when they're expecting it'll dissipate.
Well, we revealed on the show this morning that David Spears, a couple of weeks ago, the former Liberal leader, wrote to the Electoral Commissioner of South Australia seeking clarity about whether he is constitutionally able to run again and, in the event that he gets enough votes, re-enter Parliament. It appears to be a bit of a live question and a bit of a vexed question based on all the coverage I've read over the last few months. But Mr. Spears, we understand, is confident enough, even though the letter he received in reply only referred him to the legislation. He's now confident enough to throw his hat in the ring. To tease this out more, though, we're going to talk to someone who knows the Constitution like the back of her hand, Professor Anne Toomey from the University of Sydney, Professor of Constitutional Law. Anne, good morning, and thanks for coming on. What is your reading of the Spears situation?
Well, I think it's really unclear. So I read something about this a while back that said that there was an assumption that if you'd been convicted of an offence in South Australia, that meant that you were unable ever again to run for Parliament. And I thought, that sounds very odd, because most jurisdictions in Australia, so long as you've served your sentence, then you're no longer prevented from being a member of Parliament. So that's the case in the Commonwealth, for example, under Section 44. If you've committed a criminal offence but you've served your sentence, then you're not disqualified for life thereafter from ever being a member of Parliament. So I went and had a look into it. And the problem is that it all comes down to the meaning of the word is. So what it says is that if you're a member of Parliament and a member of Parliament is convicted, rather than has been convicted of an offence, then they are, requiring a certain amount of imprisonment, then you are disqualified from being a member of Parliament. So the question then is really, does is mean that it's just the moment that you're convicted, or does it mean while you're serving a sentence, or does it mean once you're convicted, you're forever excluded from being a member of Parliament? And that's the uncertainty here. Someone's going to have to interpret it, probably a court in the end, if it ever gets challenged.
Well, I was going to ask you, that was one of my next question, Anne. The mechanism by which his candidacy would be challenged. It doesn't. It's by the sense of what you just said. It doesn't sound like it just naturally happens as a matter of course. Someone would have to take it to court.
Yeah. So if he stands and he gets elected, and that's a big if, then someone could challenge it and go to a court. So there's provisions in the Electoral Act for a Court of Disputed Returns, which is the Supreme Court of South Australia. And anyone who's either a candidate or a voter can challenge his election, and they need to do so in 40 days, and they need to raise the reason of why they're not qualified to be able to stand for election. And then that would be determined by the Supreme Court sitting as a Court of Disputed Return, if it was challenged.
So could anyone challenge his nomination in isolation, or is he's allowed to nominate? You can go ahead and nominate. It's more after the event that it would become an issue.
Well, it's more likely to be after the event because of timing issues, because as you realise, the timing between nominating and the actual election is relatively short, so an ability to sort of do anything practical in the meantime is difficult. So it'd be more likely that something would be challenged then. However, there is a provision in the legislation that Section 52(1)(a), which says a person is not qualified to be a candidate for election as a member of the House of Assembly or the Legislative Council if the person would, if elected at the relevant election, be required to immediately vacate his or her seat. And that just brings us back to that question of, well, what does is mean then? Because, you do have to vacate your seat if you're a member and that member is convicted. Does that mean it's only when you're convicted while you're a member at that moment of conviction, or does it mean that you have been convicted? And it doesn't say has been. So there's a lot of ambiguity going on.
Is there any guidance or anything we can infer from other jurisdictions, Anne, that have maybe grappled with this question before?
Yeah, so the issues are arisen in Victoria, and the difference in Victoria is that it does say, I think it has been. So it makes it quite clear that it, if you have been convicted of this thing in the past, then that's it, you're done. And they quite deliberately distinguished and said, well, in that case, it does say has been, it's not saying is. Here we've got a thing that's saying is, you're a member and this member is convicted of an offence. So we have a distinction here. The other interesting thing is the history of it. So if you go back to the history of when these provisions were put in, originally it said that your qualification to be a member of Parliament was the same as your qualification to be a voter. And originally it said to be a voter, you were disqualified from being a voter if you were convicted and still serving your sentence or about to be sentenced. But you were only disqualified in those circumstances. So that flowed across from the voter to being the disqualification for being a member of Parliament. So it was only if you were convicted and under sentence or subject to be sentenced. The problem was they changed that provision later on to remove conviction as being a disqualification from voting, but without anyone thinking about, well, what does that then do to members of Parliament? And so it's been sort of left ambiguous ever since. So that's the history of it suggests that really they weren't intending to suddenly change it to make anyone who'd ever been convicted in the past suddenly disqualified for life. I mean, there was no intention to do that. So that to me suggests it doesn't mean that. But, you know, hey, there could be all sorts of other arguments. Right? Who knows? I just think it's quite unclear.
Yeah. Great explanation.
Yeah. It's going to be fascinating to see how it pans out if it gets to that. Anne Toomey, Professor of Constitutional Law at the University of Sydney.
Get the feeling it might be tested.
There should be some sort of tier. Like if you see you've killed someone.
Yeah.
Like, so they changed it to let prisoners vote, but it doesn't sound like they really thought it through. Like there should be some categories of crimes that are so serious that.
Well, maybe the original intent was that the bar is at the point of a registered conviction.
Yeah.
But that now needs to be interpreted.
Well, this could be the moment.
Imagine how do we get to 2026 and we haven't had to sort this one out before? Amazing, isn't it? All right, it's 11 minutes to 9. The wheel of fortune is behind you if you're watching on the Facebook and YouTube live stream, David, which means we have a Care Alert emergency watch to give away this morning. These devices are unbelievable.
Great. We had a bit of a play with them last year. They're terrific.
They're incredible. All thanks to Care Alert, Australia's trusted personal alert system that gets you the help you need fast. Be safe, be heard. Visit carealert.com.au for more. So whereabouts upon you had the Care Alert smart dialer, you push the button or pull the pin out if you needed help. The watch can detect if you fell over and even find yourself in a position where you couldn't interact with it. It's unbelievable, this technology.
Oh, yeah.
You need one in your family. You'll feel better about it. Everyone will feel better about it around you as well. Spin the wheel, David, because if it's your birth year, it could well be yours. Give it a spin.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
Big thanks to the Steelies. What a father and son team they are.
Absolutely.
Keeping people safe for decades. 20, number 20.
The number is 20, which means the year is 1945. 1945. Someone who is turning 81 this year. So probably be 80, but maybe turning 81. If you were born in 1945, be the first caller through right now.
We'll have plenty of 80-year-old listeners. Heaps.
I tell you what, this is a poignant one. 1945, Robert Menzies founds the Liberal Party.
Wow.
2026, will we have a Liberal Party in South Australia is a very real and live question at the moment.
1945, a good year.
Good things happened in 1945.
Very good things.
8223 is the number. Get calling now if you were born in 1945 and the Care Alert smartwatch could be yours.
Morning there at Wingfield. Truck has taken out a Stobie pole, Francis Road and Davis Street. They're closed at the moment while they fix that. McGill, residual delays from lights out McGill Road at St Bernard's Road and lights on the blink to at Brighton Road near Jetty Road. Getting busy at West Lakes for works. West Lakes Boulevard near Bashir Drive and at Canberra Clayton Road, Salisbury East. Get Nature's Own half price right now at Chemist Warehouse, in-store and online. 1 week only. Silence today. Excludes bulk sizes. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Buying or selling a home is like no other transaction. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. So who you choose matters. It can often be the hardest part. When you choose Harcourts, you're choosing a name built on trust, experience and results. Backed by a team that knows your local market and how to get the best outcome. Harcourts will guide you and keep you informed at every stage. Talk to your local Harcourts team today. And the hardest part is over.
You can rent a little, you can rent a Adelaide.
From Cairns to Canberra, Perth to Port Macquarie, you can rely on Red Spot to provide the perfect ride for your next holiday. We're the only Aussie family-owned and operated car rental company in airport terminals and cities all over Australia, with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
2 days left for a life-changing moment.
Are you for real? I can't believe it.
$1 million.
That doesn't happen to somebody like us.
Get your Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery tickets by midnight Friday for your chance to win $1 million and automatically stay in for the Scott Salisbury Grand Prize. Buy now. The early bird deadline is midnight Friday. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14894.
Mazda's 2025 plate clearance is on now. Don't miss incredible drive-away deals across select 2025 models. Take on the toughest terrain in the top-of-the-range Mazda BT50 SP. Now from $68,990 drive away. Or get the job done with the worksite-ready BT50 XT 4x4 dual cab from $55,990 drive away. Hurry into your local dealership before they're gone. Price to clear and ready to move. The Mazda plate clearance is on now. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. See Mazda.com.au for details.
If you're looking for custom-made lounge, dining, bedroom and cabinetry all made right here in SA, Nordic Design Furniture is the place. The designs and options are endless and fully customisable. Experience the quality and finish at Adelaide's only manufacturer's showroom. See how real furniture looks and feels. It's made right here by their artisans just for you. No longer Adelaide's best kept secret. Open 7 days at 43 McGill Road, Stepney. Nordic Design Furniture. Yes, it's a Nordic.
Every bathroom comes with a dark side. Mould. It sneaks into grout. But what if it had nothing to sneak into? What if you chose Mr. Wet Wall instead of tiles for your bathroom and wet areas? It costs less and there's no scrubbing grout. Because with Mr. Wet Wall, there is no grout. Just a smooth, stylish surface, easy to clean and stunning to look at. So why wouldn't you Mr. Wet Wall? MrWetWall.com.
Adelaide, experience West Australian Ballet's award-winning production of Dracula, live at Adelaide Festival Centre. Limited run only. Tickets via Ticketek.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
6 to 9, we span the wheel. Number 20 came up, which corresponded to 1945, the birth year of John from Woodcroft. John, congratulations to you. You've got a Carolette smartwatch coming your way. They're great devices.
80th birthday watch.
Yeah, absolutely, John.
Have you had your 80th yet, John, or is it still coming?
Yeah, May the 24th it was.
Oh, so you got your 81st coming up in May this year.
Hopefully.
Yes, John. Now you got the watch. You're going to definitely make it. What do you remember of growing up in the 50s in Adelaide?
Oh, things were much, much quieter. Lots of bikes around and not much traffic. You had to walk a long way to catch a tram or a bus. And all of the kids played sport out in the street. The electricity poles with the goalposts or the wickets for cricket, and you'd play on the road. And then when all of the 4:30, the workers would knock off and about 400 bikes would come streaming up the road. You had to shift off till all the bikes had gone past.
Which suburb did you grow up in, John?
That was in Prospect.
Oh, nice. And what school did you go to?
Blair Athol Primary School. And then Enfield High.
Yeah, right. Is Enfield High still there?
No, it's. I think it's becoming a retirement village.
Geez, a lot of the old schools have fallen by the wayside.
When you came out of school, John, what line of work did you go into?
Teaching, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, right. Primary or high school?
Primary.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Not enough male primary teachers these days. We need more of them.
Yes, I can understand why there are less, though.
Yeah. Having a room full of kids, it'd take it out of you, I think, John.
Yeah, the most I've got was 43 in a class.
43?
Wow.
Yeah, there wasn't too much more room left then. If I had another child come in, I think I was going to be working in the corridor.
Well, good on you, John.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Some wonderful memories. And congratulations to you. You've won that terrific Care Alert smartwatch.
Big thanks to Mike and Darren Steele at Care Alert.
Real 2026 technology. They wouldn't have dreamt about a Care Alert smartwatch in 1945.
No. Our good mate Rob, he's got a campaign slogan for David Spears, modelled after Heisenberg in Breaking Bad. David Spears, see my name.
That would be excellent. I'm not sure the connotations would be beneficial in the context of an election campaign, but let's head out to Wigfield. There's a truck crash there that's caused power outages for the entire morning. SA Power Network saying power will be back on after 10 o'clock. Kelly Hughes for 9 News is at the scene. Kelly, what can you see of this truck crash?
Good morning, guys. I'm just on Francis Street at the moment, and it was just before 6 this morning that a truck has come down here travelling east just on Francis Street and hit a Stobie pole with quite a bit of force. He's taken it right out, and that's created a bit of a headache for a lot of businesses and homes around here because they are now without power. And it was quite a large truck. We've obtained a bit of CCTV of the truck going down Francis Street, and it looks a bit like a road train, so it's quite large. And a few business owners who are without power this morning have told me that specific Stobie pole that was hit by this truck has been hit 5 times in the past few years. So they are a bit frustrated at the moment. They're without power, and they say this has been happening quite often to them. And a woman who owns a deli down the road here is having to look at throwing out quite a bit of stock this morning. So, yeah, a bit of frustration, and also the fact police are on scene at the moment as well as SA Power Networks, and this truck driver is still at large.
Okay, that would drive you nuts 5 times in the last couple of years. Kelly, thank you. Kelly Hughes for 9 News here in Adelaide. Let's have a look at the petrol situation. There's a bit of a story here because it has jumped up in a lot of places. And maybe in anticipation of an announcement at the State of the Union later today. I don't know.
That's today, isn't it?
Yeah. Better to be a member with RAA Road Service.
Spare 5 hours, you can watch it.
The Caltex Clemzig $1.59.9 is the cheapest. Otherwise, the unleaded prices are in the high $60s. Haven't been there for a while. Yugo West Highmarsh $67.9. Silver's Auto Centre is at $69.9. The Solo at Nailsworth diesel-wise is really cheap, comparatively at $59.5. Avoid the wind